A closer look at the items here around. Right, the items. Galo. It's so sad. He only has a bit of his spear. He wasn't allowed to play that game. He has the second lowest amount of gold in the game.
Hindi natin problema mindset yung side lane. Hindi natin problema sa ialf. Hindi nag-rotate yung yung mid nila sa mga side lane. Panay magkakasama lang talaga yung tatlo. Ang ano dito, ang importante lang, protect.
How you boys feeling about the first day of playoffs? Man, feeling great as usual, man. But even greater here today of the first day of the playoffs. I can't wait to get to the games. Obviously starting with match number 1 with Blacklist taking on BTK. Oh man, I can't wait for these teams to go at it against each other. You can see from the lineup they've got their best 5. Well, technically for BTK, they've got their only 5.
Freaks, bro. 5 jungle bans? There's no way they don't ban Saber here. Saber boss!
You like that shit?
What is going on? Is that going to be the Saber in the jungle for BTK? Let's get into the land of dawn for game number 1. Here, forcing the black shoes immediately. We're all saying the triple sweep to take him out. Double kill coming in from Rolazena.
Magpagitan tayo ng Beatrix if. Kung sa atin yung if daw sila yung may Phobius, kusit din yung Phobius sa if.
Then for gear is very simple, okay? Then only when they left with their mage and core pick, then they will consider the fanny because they need to switch roles. But I don't dare to risk testing this theory out.
Contoh lah Mas Meng kau nak selamat kan. Okay, Mas Meng kau nak farm sini lagi je. Bawah 5 minit kan dah tak ada armor kat tower tu. Contoh lah ni, kalau kita tak percaya tak percaya. Okay, dia tampak orang macam ni. Kau lari macam ni.
May pressure, alam niya. Baka manginig to. Pero tandaan nyo, andyan yung mga kampi nyo dito sa
Hal terpenting track sama hal-hal lain guys. Gue pengen kita fokus game nanti. Gue juga udah pikirin possibility yang bakal terjadi nanti. Jadi gak akan ada masalah.
As we came here, we're very focused. So bring out that focus.
It is no longer just dominated by the Indonesian and the Filipino teams. Now, with Singapore coming in, North America as well, all the power rankings has just been shifted up and left and right, all the directions, man. Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready for the time to come? Well, let's get straight into the game.
Kakinya cepat gua ada ulti aja.
No, kita.
We can keep fire.
Sing.
Itu mana data friend?
Nice.
my boy.
Are you satisfied with Dilar's performance?
Yeah, absolutely. My boys, Onic PH, I'm very, very proud of you guys. Let's just continue to have fun. Yeah, that's it. Let's stay as family.
Foto tadi bagus, foto tadi.
1, 2. Perfect! Go Arjun!
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the brackets right now. It is this lower bracket that we've come into in the third day of the playoffs. It is knockout time. How are they going to perform in this knockout stage? Because the pressure, if it was huge in the group stage, it's huger, it's greater here.
Что завтра нам играть с кем СРСГ? Давай, давай. Ага, на 3 мужики. Давай. Хорошо.
And today, we will bear witness to the 8 teams as they battle head-to-head in the lower bracket stage in hopes to keep their championship dream alive. As the winners will move on to the next stage, and the losing team will have to say goodbye.
Both of these teams, they are the MPL champions. So into the first match of the day between Onic Esports and Team SMG. Teams are ready, we are ready, but are you guys ready? Let's get straight into it.
Nice. Okay, aku balik. Aku ke batas balik.
Ada SME setengah darah. 2 orang dalam
Aku ke limit. Kita ready kat bawah tau. Okay, ni kita main disiplin tau.
كاجا فلاش ايمن انت اروح مع ايمن شوي تعالوا تب كلنا قاعد يلا
Она запушила со следующим паком, сам. Вон, ноги выживет.
No te pegues tanto porque si te metes adentro los agarro con la ulti.
Para esto está mi gol, ¿no? Para el show, tú estás bien.
Clear home. Clear.
Dia je salah nanya.
Jangan keluar weh, Mat. Keluar 3 bawah.
Puxa sampai sorteio, siapa?
Better than last game lah. I mean, at least at least improve lah. No, try lah.
Picture kayo.
Basta ang gawin lang natin during game, if yung goal naman natin dito magkaroon ng mismatch sa side lane, hanggat maaari continuous reporting lang kung nasaan yung post 5. Para hindi mag-load yung ano.
Ba't Mia yung ban?
Hindi, kahit ano yung pa, basta yung ano yung ma-exercise lang yung isip at daliri natin.
Bro, yan yan. Kurang kencang bro.
Satu lagi bro.
Yang ada depan sakit.
Enggak, ini belakang dua-duanya. Berapa sih? Gue orang Singapura loh. Kalau sesilan mah harus digiring.
Today is Indonesia and the Philippines. I think it's already begun. The teams are planning, the teams are preparing, and most importantly, one of these teams will be going home here today. That is just the nature of competitions.
Yung fundamentals lang natin, yung basic natin, step by step. Number 1, anong kailangan natin gawin? Pag nag-loading, after ng drop, tingnan natin yung tapatan ng side lane. Kailangan ba natin mag-switch? If no, okay, dun tayo. I-secure ang back ni Wise, hanapin ng post 5, pakiramdaman kung may sumasagi sa'yo. And then yung main ano natin, main objectives.
Mereka tim yang kuat, tapi jangan salah, kita udah pernah kalahin mereka. Jadi tinggal kita lakuin lagi apa yang pernah kita lakuin. Pede aja, jangan sampai takut, jangan sampai ragu.
Enjoy aja, mau bilang refleks kuat atau apa ya, ya emang kuat, ya kita juga kuat tapi nggak apa-apa, jangan lupa enjoy aja sih, have fun.
Let's get into the land of dawn for game number 1.
Gantungnya natin tap.
Gua nggak mati, nggak ada flame shot, nggak ada flame shot.
Nice one.
Well played for Blacklist International. Calm, collected, and move.
The grip's already right?
Nice kill. B. B.
Di game tadi itu nggak ada. Hitungannya itu tadi kita main snowball, sampai kita kelar 12 menit. Itu kan tadi konsepnya.
Yun na itan, tapos tayo magpapakita. Ay teka, ang ipin nila.
Beatrice?
Yung ipin naman din nila.
2, 2, 3. Go!
Setup.
Fail kita, fail ya.
Kasi lang yan, yung ano siya. Kaya.
Wala silang tang.
Cover mood.
Sinatap dito.
Kena to the front lineup and they go for the finish. Onic Esports pull into game 3. GG. Lineup as they go.
Apa no?
Finish.
Sige, doon tayo sa ano, Pakito. Hindi natin dapat i-deny. Ang pinakamaganda pa nga, ibigay pa natin sa kanya eh.
Si Laboli lang yung ano nila, yung physical.
Kung pag yung pag ginagawa niya, pag pinukok niya yung S, may isang first skill niya, agad nabuno.
Nih, pikirin hero lu dulu apa? Kalau Kiboy masih banyak.
Lancer,
ada Lolita, ada Matilda.
Kalau kayak tadi sih lanjut boleh.
Kalau memang orang sama barat bener-bener area sih.
Kalau orang sama di barat dia. Iya. Mana bisa? Iya.
Dia masih ada di liga loh.
Use nyo na lang yung bot, use yung bot para...
Agak berani aja bro. 3, 2, 3. Ada orang. Oo, nakaano na ako. Sabar ya, harus jalan.
Tangkol pala siya.
Kemit.
side of two of the biggest Mobile Legends Bang Bang nations here are on the line. RRQ Hoshi face up against Onic Philippines.
What time is it? Let's go!
Well, it is time right now for the players to make their way to the stage. Are you ready? Let's get it. Let's see the stage right now.
Bisa ini nggak?
Pintre walang pili. Ala, bola. Kalian ko lama mati kan? Yes! Oh yes!
Udah kasih tahu gameplaynya aja, ini gameplay doang, bukan masalah.
Itu kebanyakan kampus, Cok. Di tengah gitu gak ngapa-ngapain, membunuh orang takut. Padahal kayak gue dengar komunikasi kalian, ya, maksud gue kayak gendut bakal diduain gitu. Ya lo hantam lah tiganya. Mereka gak ada punya purify, guys.
Enggak kasih juga anjing.
Satu lu gini lang.
Ay! Tara, lumalim tara.
Dekat juga kan Uranus.
Berarti si Bali interview.
Parang airport gua sama airport berapa?
Winners punch just a style on their opponents as the base will just get shredded down.
GG, well played, Blackness International. They could have let King live and use that last minion to end the game.
Eliminated RSG. Sour pride though. Holy moly. Navi knocks out the local team RSG.
We are moments away to the game. RRQ Hoshi against Blacklist International. Who would have thought this game will be happening at day 7 of our playoff?
This is basically doing what they want to be done. Edward getting that first F will slightly
Lulita na gin pina.
Nice!
Bagaimana gua? Jadi kayak menurut gua kalau dia pakai Tonatan, menurut gua kita ambil Ruby Chow.
Iya, paksa Rubico kan kita di atas.
Tapi kalau lawan mereka ya sumpah, kalian kalau mau objektif jangan ambil kecil, Chow, kalau bisa.
Yung Lolita, walang ginawa, baka i-adjust nila yun.
First pick para sa gagawin yan.
Walang ginawa yung Lolita.
Pag nag-first pick sila ng parsa, kunin natin F-Test. Kaya mag-sustain yun eh.
Tugupin na yun. Kayaan nyo lumab. Daanin natin sila sa early.
Pero expect ko, i-adjust talaga ni si Bin eh. Ay, start nyo nga.
Wise shut down and a double kill. Blacklist equalized.
Nasa akin.
Diyan mo ka dyan.
Blacklist will knock out the last hope for Indonesia.
sa'yo na Inos.
Nice one!
Huwag kang mainis. Ha?
Magkatalo tayo.
Lalo na ngayon. Kailangan natin bawat isa.
Kailangan natin maging team.
Ha? Huwag nyo isipin yung mali lang ng isa.
Basta, bombs, strength.
Iangat nyo yung isa.
Please. Bombs lang,
Ha?
please.
Kailangan ito dito.
Yeah.
What if kung proven na pag nagiging ang ano sa akin? What if binigay natin yung hangin?
Kailangan eh. Hindi ka mag-internet yan. Kasi mas mahirapan tayo sa kasi hindi yan valid sila.
Nakita mo, nag-follow pa agad.
Tama na.
Nakaitem ako, nag-follow pa agad.
It all comes down to this. The road to recovery, or are we going to be crowning another Filipino world champion after this? Let's go into game number 4. Blacklist International versus Onic PH.
Pwede ko tuloy itong turtle ah.
Oh, gonna use a concussive blast. Draws first blood onto the Natalia. Hagi scores it.
Basta sama-sama lang tayo.
Ayos na ka, okay?
Nice, Pokey!
Gusto nyo cut ko muna to, kaso andyan yung ano.
Still alive. Killing spree. Popped him on, but that made keeping him alive. Storm successfully taken down. Drone can't fly.
Hey, patulong.
Ladies and gentlemen, your N3 World Champions, Blacklist International.
In the battlefield, they are rivals, but in here they are true friends.
Champions of the world.
Our Mlbb N3 World Champion, Blacklist International.
Saat orang-orang hidup di dalam ketakutan dan penderitaan, namun masih ada secercah harapan yang mampu membebaskan negeri ini dari kekuatan jahat.
Bawa artefak ini, panggil sang kesatria dan selamatkan kita semua.
Wiped out.
Bebaskan negeri kami dari kekuatan jahat.
Aku hanya diriku sendiri.
Tapi kamulah sang kesatria.
Katakan kepadaku, apa yang menjadikan seseorang kesatria? Seorang kesatria menghadapi ketakutan. Seperti kita semua. Seorang kesatria akan jatuh. Dan seorang kesatria akan kalah. Namun mereka tahu selalu ada harapan. Seorang kesatria tidak akan menyerah. Seorang kesatria akan bangkit dan menginspirasi orang-orang di sekitarnya. Karena seorang kesatria tahu bahwa mereka tidak sendiri. Bahwa mereka memiliki satu sama lain. Dan seorang kesatria percaya pada diri sendiri bahwa mereka bisa. Seberapa besar pun tantangan yang mereka hadapi. setiap dari kita adalah seorang kesatria. Sekarang saatnya menghadapi tantangan. Saatnya terjun ke dalam pertarungan. Saatnya memberikan yang terbaik. Saatnya Indonesia.
Welcome to the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M2 World Championships live from Singapore.
Which is going to be kind of one of the,
it's a dire match.
It's a scenario. There's
Yeah.
a scenario for a tiebreaker right now. And if S11 actually beats Hawk and Hawk loses against Valley later on the day, we'll have a three-way tie in this group. So that's what needs to happen exactly. Hawk's definitely not going to want that though.
I mean, maybe the people at home want that, right? They still want to watch these group stages unfold. But before we get started, we would like to thank our official sponsors once again. M4 is powered by Moonton, presented by TikTok, the official content partner, supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming chair, and eSports Charts, our analytical partner. Gank, our official merchandise partner, MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not least, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. Once again, we are grateful to all you sponsors. This amazing event would not be possible without all of you. So, with that being said, we also are going to take a look at today's schedule in just a bit. But, I mean, this is the halfway point, right? I mean, match 3 is ahead of us. We started the day off on I feel like a high note, but also a surprise note, right?
Right.
And it started with S11, right? So we're going to be taking a look at the schedule for today for how the rest of the day can unfold. And like you said, there's a lot of scenarios here, Mirko, at play.
Well, let's take a look at it right now. Again, if you guys missed match 1 and 2, here are the results. S11 upset the world again by beating RRQ Akira. Echo PH still one of the title contenders here, beating Occupy Thrones. And now we're here. Match 3, S11 Gaming versus Team Hawk. Again, if the tiebreaker were to happen in Group D, S11 has to win this, and then later on, the Valley will have to win against Team Hawk.
So a lot of ifs for sure, but later on, of course, Echo against RSG and RRQ against RSG as well. So plenty of exciting matches. We're only halfway through, so don't miss out. And now we take a look at the standing.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the standings here just so everybody knows what's going on. Again, not everyone gets to watch the entire tournament. And with it being the last day of group stages, a lot here is still on the line, right? Group D, as you can see, RRQ Akira has 2 points, followed by the Valley. They're at 1 point. They still have that game later on. S11, they're at also 1 point. Again, this next matchup is crucial for them, and they're going against Team Hawk here, who has yet to score a point.
Team Hawk not really doing so well right here in this group, but of course, they're not a team that you can just ignore. They are
Definitely
a very
not.
competent team as well. So this is what becomes concerning, right? A lot of people are asking, some of these teams have seemed to just improve so much overnight. Have they just been holding back?
Well, you know, again, Team Hawk, they're the Malaysian champions. They're not just any random team.
Exactly.
They are a champion.
Yeah.
Coming into this, we saw them in the grand finals of MPL Malaysia. The way they were able to draft and play around the meta was what really made them shine. And so far in the M4 meta, I think that's what what's making them struggle, right? They haven't really found that sweet spot in the meta just yet to draft and to play around.
Well, I know everybody at home, if you want to focus more on playing here, the M4 pass is available for you guys now in-game. All you have to do is complete all the active tasks and you'll reach level 75 at ease and for free. So log in now, exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and the M4 Beatrix figurine that we've been talking about a lot
Non-stop.
here. It's waiting for you guys. So the hashtags, don't forget them. Hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBB M4, and the last one, hashtag Dare to Be Great.
Oof, man. Daring to be great is something that, again, every single team has been doing at M4. And right now, you guys can participate in the M4 guess, all right? We know it's unpredictable, but that just adds to the fun of it, all right? Join the guess from December 26th to the 15th of January to get up to 10,000 pass XP, right? You need to win, okay? It's very tough, but because of the odds being so crazy and because of the crazy matches that are unpredictable, you guys can upgrade the pass by 10 levels. So don't miss out and go and guess right now before the match starts. S11 Team Hawk. Hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Hashtag MLBB M4. And hashtag Dare to Be Great.
I still think, a lot of people's guess coins, including my own, are in shambles, and that's okay because you still have the knockout stages ahead of us, right? There's still plenty of matchups here. We are going to be taking a look here at the lineup again for S11 Gaming, and just how you gotta. The thing is, all of them stand out in their previous series, right? We're in the first one of the day, and we're taking a look at them now. S11 Gaming, it's Chan in the mid lane, Papa Dog in the XP lane, Kai in the gold lane, Jotun in the jungler, and Erwin as the roamer.
Well, this team has just been so aggressive and so dynamic. And as we mentioned, they are surprising us with just how aggressive they can be and how flexible, especially Chan in that mid lane.
Once again, welcome them to the stage, S11 Gaming.
And like I said, the first series, we saw all of them shine. Kai specifically, too, on that ear. They've got the pose down, too.
I like it. I like the style.
These guys are on fire.
They are on fire.
They've got that swag going on. They seem very, very confident. And who can blame them? They just pulled off a great upset, and they are looking to try and, quote-unquote, upset again.
Under the champion.
Yes.
Well, speaking of, let's take a look at the roster here. Arashi.
Man in the mid lane, Lola in the EXP lane, Panda the gold lane, Gary as the jungler, and Min as their roamer. That duo, man and Min, right? We're the man lineup here. There's man in Team Hawk as well, and they are making an entrance.
The Malaysian champions! Give it up for Team Hawk!
There they are, looking ready to go too. And something that you mentioned, Mirko, is the way that they've been playing. The specific thing from both these teams from Malaysia is actually that some people call it cheese strategies. Some people call it, it's an ace up the sleeve, if you will. And I'm talking about the lane swaps, right? That's something that obviously S11 also needs to take note of, and I'm sure they have. They've had plenty of time to prepare for that. But let's also take a look at the talent prediction here and see where this time everybody votes. And it looks like so far for this first batch, it's still a lot of Team Hawk here, but there are some S11s as well.
2 S11s so far. And I think, me personally, right, I really want to see that crazy kind of playstyle. I mean, I crave violence, but chaos is the mother of all opportunity. So
Rashi, violence, bang bang.
When things get unpredictable, that's where the violence happens. So you already know I'm slightly biased towards the unpredictable.
Well, look at you. There you are, right there.
There you go.
That was a long disclaimer.
Yeah, that was a long disclaimer to try to explain your prediction before it's even shown, right? But here, Topmo is the only talent in the second slide to go for S11 Gaming. I think if you're S11 Gaming right now, you should be pretty happy because that's exactly what happened the first time around. Everyone was rooting for RRQ.
I feel like, previous matchup where everybody voted for Echo here, this is something that's going to be happening here for these teams like S11 where they have these great performances and they have these surprise matchups, and then you're going to slowly convert some of these fans, right? Being like, oh, actually, let's cheer for this team. We now know these names, and also we can support them here for this matchup. But let's take a look at the keys to victory specifically for S11, expect and respect Gary's assassin hero pool from the jungle. Jotun must raise his retribution game. He's got to be able to compete on those objectives. Keep Panda domesticated with constant pressure. So keep a hand on that Panda there, right? Be cool, stay clean, play with discipline. I think that is also very crucial because you are going against a team, like Arashi said, that loves to play violent, a little chaotic, right? And be that calm, collected team to handle that ahead of you.
Well, to add to that, the information that we have is that Team Hawk, they are very good at adapting and seeing what you have to bring to the table and just countering completely. The keys to victory for them right here is to force S11 Gaming to make mistakes with early rotations. Min and Man to recalibrate their twin connection. That is something that they have been using so much to gain so much success. To pair against front-to-back compositions, have enough dive if they require to shut down perhaps the gold lane or the mid lane, and don't overthink it with the battle spells, right? Just do it.
And there's a fun fact when you're looking at Team Hawk. They got a special analyst, man. That's Valence, a player that used to play with Gary, Min, and Man back in Orange Esports, right? So he's going to be helping Hawk now as an analyst, and he's a brilliant line, man. This is the man who actually was able to almost outplay Omega, I believe. Remember at MSC. But now, let's take a look at the audience prediction right here.
Wow.
And it's pretty even. Yeah, it's very, very even, where a lot of people are going for S11 Gaming too. I'm looking at it. I think it's for the second slide, especially. It's more towards S11, but it's very close.
Mix.
And I mean, that's going back to the point I said. Like, when you see more of these teams play, specifically S11 here, you're going to slowly convert some of these fans out there in the world watching, right? And being like, wow, actually, yeah, we are rooting for these guys. And I mean, Team Hawk, these players, some of them very well known, right? They have accomplished a lot as a team. But S11 clearly making a statement from the first series that they had. And now as we jump into the draft here, for this third match of the day, already you can see it is going to be S11 on the blue side. We've got Team Hawk on the red. Bans coming out here, Eve and Fanny are going to be taken out. And I think that's great, right? You take out the Fanny here. You don't allow Gary to unleash on that. But I'm surprised too. Team Hawk decides to take out the Valentina.
You know, I was about to say, right when we were talking about S11 being popular, a lot of players, a lot of fans are now rooting for them. Have you seen the players vote in-game in MLBB? They're like the second highest, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, RQ's number one.
RQ's number one.
RQ and S11's like not really close because RQ's got so much more votes, but S11 second, dude. Argentina, probably because of the World Cup.
I was going to say, very passionate just fans. I mean, like not just esports, but even sports in general. So not surprised, right? You're gonna see this rally effect for S11, especially as they go into the knockout stage.
For sure. Well, for Team Hawk right now, they understand that they have to contend with a lot of crowd control if they allow the Kaja as well as the Valentina to fall into the hands of S11. So, considering they want to be reactive, they want to make sure that S11 does not have too many playmaking tools as well, just in case it overwhelms them. S11 though, they understand that if there's kite back, there's going to be a 1-1, so they ban that option out of the game.
I'm wondering if one of these teams grabs the Kadita early on, right? I mean, we've seen them both play it, and especially with the performance that Chan had, where he started that early game very quickly, stacking, 2-3 kills on that Kadita. I would be surprised if it's either let through this draft or not even banned out, because both teams do like to play around with that. So still, too, with this last ban coming up here from Team Hawk, they've already focused on, the Valentina, the Kaja pick.
Glue.
Do they go for Glue? Actually, it's going to be the Joy, who we've seen more often than I feel like now in the jungle. I think we can say we've seen Joy more in the jungle picked up here. So interesting, right? First phase, bans done. What is the first pick here going to be for S11 Arashi?
I think it's going to be something with a bit more utility for sure, because Glue, you see that their Glue makes a lot of sense for sure. Of course, the flex potential is still also a big factor here. It does seem like they do not want to be denied, right? That D pick is just so annoying. So I think they want something that can just go in the back line. We saw that the Yu song was so devastating, but I'm not sure if they're going to pick it at least like first pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's way too expensive to let go of Glue, right? You mentioned the Yi, but they've already banned it here. So again, Team Hawk, they can respond. We've seen teams respond to the Glue pick with a fair miss because of the additional damage you do towards a split. But even then, Glue's still super annoying, right? It's all about how you use the slam, and honestly, it's how you space out in the team fights. That's how you differentiate the good glue players from the average ones, right? And I believe right now, from looking at how Papa Dog usually plays on his sustainable heroes, this is his style of hero, right? Picking up the glue, super strong, already basically guarantees a strong side XP laner for their team.
I mean, not only that, but we saw how he played, the high and dry Grok, right? So I feel like glue works better for him here, but already the response from Team Hawk is going to be the Cho pick and the carry. We've seen carry quite devastating in a lot of matches. The damage can be unreal, especially when you get that attack speed built up and the itemization and everything. And then, of course, Cho, someone that we see utilize the Way of Dragon there's so many ways you can use it. Disengage, engage, you can pull the flashy plays, you don't have to. The peel is there too, which obviously is something that you really need for the carry to shine, because you can only rely so much on the dash and also the Wind of Nature, right? But if you have what you're seeing similarly, the great Cho players, they know how to peel, they know how to disengage, and they know when to engage. So still, I think there's something that needs to be drafted for Team Hawk to complement this Cho pick. But on the other side, S11 going to take out the Leslie again. 0% win rate, but it is still a devastating hero late game.
You're up against some true damage on carry. Hey, someone else has true damage, and that's Leslie, right? They pick it up, they want to play for the late game, and they also picked up a Lolita that can stop these projectiles from going towards that back line, right? So they're basically trying to give more space towards their own back line here. The big question for me is right now, S11 Gaming in the mid lane, they're going to be severely, the hero pool is going to be hit in the second phase of the draft by Team Hawk for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very important lane, but of course S11 has a lot of options to play around with. If they want to be a bit more proactive, as Nice you mentioned, a Kadira might make sense. If they want to go for range, the far side is available, but we talked about this Yuzong and how oppressive it can be. Now you're on a Leslie against a Yuzong. That's a very difficult situation to be in. But on that point, on the road laner still, the carry and the Leslie matchup in the late game, it's a bit dangerous because pure DPS-wise, carry will outdamage. But if you miss position, right, Leslie functions as an assassin as well, and you can get one shot before you can even pop the Wind of Nature.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Arashi, there's a lot of options available for you if you're S11. And specifically in the mid lane too, you got to be careful on how you approach it. You do have, I mean, again, contesting the Kadita would be great, but also that you still have available Xavier. Never mind, it is banned out. So that's going to be taken out. I was going to say Xavier because specifically, same situation, right? You have a great peel mechanic available to you with the Mystic Field. You also have that low cooldown Dawning Light as the game goes on, able to chunk down members here from Team Hawk. So, Leslie as well. But it's the same thing. You have to protect this Leslie because you have Lolita, which is great, but still you want to have a multi-dimensional kind of option for you to use.
You know how they can do that here? If I was S11 Gaming, honestly, look at this composition, right? We've seen this before too. S11 banned out the Farsa, and so far it's going exactly as I'm thinking, but they might want to go for the Lunox here, right? If there's anyone who can really peel for the Leslie in the back line, it's someone that does damage, that can melt the backline presence or the backline threat to them, which is the Yuzong, right? That's the only way to peel from a Yuzong. Yeah, I mean, technically you can go for a Diggy, but they already have a Lolita, right? So the real answer from me right now for S11 is picking up something like a Lunox that can really melt down the Yuzong, so it just stops him from going towards Leslie.
A secondary damage source in case they want to tunnel vision. It's a bit of how we saw earlier, right? When you have two very solid sources of damage, you have no idea which one to focus down. If you focus one, the other just goes out of control. And if there's only one tool available in the side of Team Hawk to shut down a single hero on the back line, if you have two from S11, it might be quite difficult. So now, the question is again, for Team Hawk, do they want to try and zone away the Leslie using long range, or do they want to go for an assassin? They can just back up the dive coming in from the whole team.
You know what? I really like how Team Hawk is like, you know what? It's fine. We'll also ban the mid laners, despite not having a mid laner themselves. Yeah. Because Mon is such a dynamic player, has a lot of heroes in his arsenal, right? We've seen him play the Eudora in the grand finals in MPL Malaysia. So at this point, I'm just waiting for him to pull off something like even the Diggy mid again.
I was going to say, when you mentioned Diggy earlier, I was like, well, possibly we could potentially see Diggy mid. It has worked before.
Yep.
And again,
Kadita still on the table if they want to take it with that burst damage. It gives you another option here for Team Hawk to focus on the backside. But so far, they're going to hold off on that mid lane pick. They do lock in the jungler here. We're going to see Ling again, but right away, S11 going to lock in Karina here. So this is another unique hero coming out. And I mean, how is this going to work out, Arashi? Is this a solid choice for them?
Well, in the early, the Karina will have a bit more of an advantage. I mean, he can block the basic attacks as well coming in from the carry. So that is a factor for sure. But looking at the comp right now, I fear for the safety of the Leslie, man, with a Ling and a Yutong on the field. But I hope you guys at home can hear.
You get off here.
We have chants and drums coming into the studio.
Yep,
I
the morale.
believe, I believe they were yelling Team Hawk.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so again, Team Hawk, all the way from Malaysia, right here in Indonesia, in the Bali United studio, they are ready, man, with the support coming in for their team. Let's see, it's the Harith pickup that's going to be in the mid lane, I believe.
Yeah,
for
mid.
S11.
Yeah.
So again, it's not going to be that Lunox that we mentioned, but it is a magic damage dealer here.
Still great. Still a great option. Yeah.
I agree. It's still great, but again, there's a lot of lockdown, right? There's that Way the Dragon, single target, lockdown. I think Chan might have to go for that Purify.
But technically, think about that overlap scenario, right? The Zombie Force, then you have the Numnum Blast. Like, you have a lot of options there to play around it. You called it. You're an analyst now.
I'm an analyst now.
All right, you stood up for that. I know.
I
I share your excitement here, Mirko. There's Eudora.
Right, I mean, we talk about reacting, we talk about crowd control. Well, Eudora provides that, and in that mid lane, we talked about how important the control, the threat can be in allowing rotation. So with a Eudora that can just one-shot squishy heroes later on in the mid-game, Team Hawk has a chance to just take control over the game outright.
Man, one thing I love about Eudora is just the amount of burst potential, right? You also have a great stun option, a CC, which still is paired up really well with the Cho, like we were saying, have that option available to you. And just take them to the Thunderdome if you want to, right? It's something that can really work out here. But S11 as well, across the board, they've got that Cryo glue pick that we've seen either work or it doesn't. And still, I mean, they have a lot of options to work around with. But I think it ultimately is going to start also in the jungle. But the band is going, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third match here. Can S11 do it again versus Team Hawk?
Man, that Eudora pick. Oh, I love it here, man. The Eudora is going to have so much value, right? You want to lock down Chan, you want to lock down Kai, and especially Jotun, who's now going to really struggle when he jumps in. He might have to go for like a magical defense item early, but I have to take a look at his... Oh, he went for the mystery shot. That's not going to be a tank Karina. It's a full damage Karina. At least it should be.
It's an assassin Karina attempting to burst down the squishier members like Panda, like Gary. But of course, before he can even get there, Lola needs to be dealt with first. And this EXP lane matchup, whoever comes out on top will determine the dynamic of the rotations, right? Because at any point, if during the course of a fight, a Yuzong shows up with the full combo, with a Petrify, that is just dangerous. And Glue can also wreak havoc. So that is a huge factor in deciding who has the upper hand. For now.
Yeah, I think right now, Team Hawk gives the Lith Wanderer away. They don't want to really chance it because early on, without, the Way of the Dragon, without the ultimate even from Man here, it's tough, right? Flicker in, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you are concealed on Leslie, that second ability, the stun from Man, won't come out. So he actually kind of miscalculated. He should have used the first ability to just reveal him first. Was out of range by the time he realized. So, again, a bit of a misplay. That's a flicker burn, but chance to be taken low, taken down even here.
What a rotation.
Can use the Purify, but hey, that's the damage, just melting him down.
You can't purify damage, my guy. That is the best crowd control, right? Death.
You can't.
That is the best crowd control. So, it seems like Team Hawk, despite the reputation for being more adaptive, they have taken matters into their own hands, but S11 still has control in that turtle pit.
Slick movement by Kai, man.
I mean, at this point, that little early first blood from Team Hawk should set themselves up for a decent turtle take here. as S11 is going to start it up though.
Black Dragon formed by Lola, zoning Jotun away. Has the Petrify, is going to be stunned up. Here's Jotun, jumps into the back line onto Min right now, and that's going to be the damage coming in. The burst was able to take Jotun down. Min's going to be taken low, has the flicker to get out as Man is jumping in. Gary finds retribution as he pops the top of the blaze. Man picking up a double kill as Gary just slides across the place, picking up his sword and getting out.
That looks so messy, but the crowd control yet again prevails. Min was caught out of position. He has the Way of the Dragon, but he wasn't sure when and where to use it. So he was moving around, but because there's so many other tools available, because Lola was able to just push everyone away and wrestle control from S11 in the beginning, he was still able to get a very impactful presence in that fight. Team Hawk right now, they have the tools available. Can they push the tempo hard enough though? That is the main question. Because S11, they are still having a lot of crowd control, especially later on in the mid game with all the AoE.
Well, you're asking if they can press the situation even further here. Again, Man on this Eudora pick, having those 2 kills, the last worship as well. The burst damage is already there, and it's going to be there even like harder at this early point in the game. Now, you can see already the focus too. S11 knows they got to focus on Panda. This is the key to victory here. So if they can pick up a kill here, kind of put pressure on gold lane constantly, that is one of the best case scenarios for them. Again, they want to allow Kai to do what he did in the first match, where he just unleashes mid to late game.
Oh my god, Erwin got the stun on the wrong target. He hit the minion, and now it's the collapse over to punish them. Erwin mistapped on the minion, and it's going to be Man who picks up a killing spree too, bursting Jotun down.
What a disaster for S11. It looked so good. They were about to domesticate the Panda, but it did not work out. The backup comes in, the knockups comes in. That is the power of crowd control. And we talked about that burst coming in from Man. This Eudora is deadly right now. And not to mention, if you focus too much onto Panda, Gary can still be a big factor, but whoa!
Everyone's gonna get kicked back. He wanted to go for something here, has him on blast, but doesn't have the flicker, and it's gonna be Erwin who gets taken down. Gary picks up the kill, and it's another kill over to the Malaysian champions who are now in full control.
Full control, 3.4k, 5k gold lead here. This turtle should be theirs as well, and questionably, Erwin, I mean, he was trying to just maybe buy time for that turret, but better to let it go, because now this is one objective after the other going to the hands of Team Hawk here. S11's going to have their work cut out for them early on through this game into the mid game. And still, what is the answer here for Man? Man having a massive game already. This is like what Chan had in their match in match 1, right? So this is a flippy-floppy situation, but also somewhat expected from Team Hawk. They're going to put pressure where they know they need to be. Min, though,
it's going to be stunned up. That's about it, right? There's no real threat right now from S11 in terms of damage. Chan still needs to scale. Kai as well, but who doesn't need to scale? It's Man on the Eudora. That's an early game mage for a reason. Erwin just got melted.
That is a terrifying amount of damage onto the roamer. If your roamer can be one-shot like that, that allows Team Hawk to just deny any kind of inquisitive maneuvers coming in from Erwin. He cannot find vision, and with that control, with those threats, they're able to get the turret, but Man here is the main target for S11.
There you go, everything used, and still it's Mon surviving, but Chan jumps in with his Mon Force, picking up a shutdown and putting some gold in his pockets, collecting it. Lola's still with the Black Dragon form now, going to be out of there, going to be immobilized down, but he's still able to get out with a Furious Dive. Meanwhile, in the back line is going to be actually Jotun, who gets kicked back to the team, has the maneuverability to get out for a bit before Panda finds the kill. Gary now still trying to look for more damage, but it's S11 who decides to back off, and it's an equal trade in the end.
That could have been way worse, right? I mean, for either team there was a lot going on, but still, it was pretty much an even trade so far, and that's the thing. The thing about Team Hawk is the pressure from having a Eudora, the pressure from having a Cho is showing for S11. S11 has to work around this, right? But again, time could be in their favor if they can get to the point where mid-late game, they've got some farm. Kai hasn't died yet. This is very reminiscent, like I said, to previous game where we were kind of counting out Kai, but then he flipped the tables for S11 in the previous matchup. So this could still happen for them.
True.
And Chan as well. Chan, he needs to continue to build up. You saw the Zaman Force. If Team Hawk gets out of place, Zaman Force works so well to find the kills that you need with this Harith or even set up the rest of the team here. But already another turtle being worked on Team Hawk. They should be able to just secure this with a breeze.
S11 going for a trade, it seems, but with only 2 members down here, it's still very vulnerable, and Team Hawk might just make a play here. No, they go for the turret, and that's about it. They're playing it patient and disciplined, keeping it clean, because later on, they can still have so many more options, man. They can use Gary to split push as well. We've seen that happen, and now here is the squad, right? Looking for a play, but Lola might be the one starting it off.
Uh-oh, there you go. Yeah, Lola just dishing out a bit of damage to act as poke, but with this, the way they're trading on the map, right, S11 sure are buying a bit more time. Erwin jumps in onto Lola. They're trying to actually collapse onto with the Zaman Force too. Lola taking very little bit away. The Dragon connects onto Jotun. His chance still able to actually get out. Look at him now. Blast connecting onto 2 members. Mon still able to flicker out. Papadog gonna be knocked up. Chance still gonna be able to survive, but it's scary. Slicing and dicing with the help of Panda to get the damage done and to take Erwin and Chan down. Team Hawk now looking to capitalize as they are going to be able to take the mid lane tier 1.
The snipe won't be enough, and that is what discipline gets you. S11, they saw Lola, they figured, let's go for that pickoff because they are in such desperate situations. But of course, they are able to secure the kill, but at what cost? Team Hawk has so many more dangerous members available, and look at the items right here. Panda, already with the corrosion sight and the golden staff, that is a lot of attack speed and a lot of utility that can be brought into the team. And Gary on this lane with the Berserker's Fury and the Windtalker, that's a lot of hits and by default a lot of crits as well. So they can't really let these members go around without getting crowd control, without threatening them with everything.
Yeah, again, you know, with Kai not dying yet, that's a great situation to be in. But what we're seeing from Team Hawk is that backline dive is so strong. You have Gary, you have Lola to do that. And man, if he decides to flicker in and just throw out that full combination for Eudora, then Kai could be easily taken out here. So still, S11 buying time, they might be better off just giving up this first Lord, because if they actually contest it or try to fight it, they're most likely going to lose the fight here. So Team Hawk starts up the first Lord of the game.
That's a very great point, because if there's a big messy fight, Man can output the bulk of his role in the fight instantly. Whereas for the other side, if Chan wants to mimic the same kind of success, he needs to stay alive, he needs to take a lot more risks. So Man has the quote-unquote easier hero, but that also means that as long as he's tactical and smart about his decisions in those big fights, who he targets, it's just a more clear-cut solution.
S11 are still waiting for that power spike to hit, right?
Yeah.
They are banking on Chan and Kai. These 2 members are the 2 members that need the items to actually carry the game right now. Jotun, I think right now he just needs to act as an assassin, right? He comes in late, but if Team Hawk keep on just suffocating them this way, S11 have no way to actually get gold. Like, look at this, the orange buff is actually stolen away by Lola.
Yeah. Oh, they're going in.
What is going on here?
Mid lane.
And even in top lane, it's 2 kills on the board. Chance jumping back and forth, but he doesn't find a trade. It's still Team Hawk who just wins it out 2-0.
Okay, we missed that for a second there, but 2 did go down for S11. And Lord now on the bottom side, they're going to have to be careful here how they approach this Black Dragon form.
Papadog, nowhere to go here. Pops the split, trying to buy some time, but the damage comes through to really just melt him down. Chan now with his Mon Force actually jumping onto the Furious Dive. Luckily, he did not get knocked up. He is going to be able to clear the Lord out. 10 minutes in, base turret down in the bottom lane.
Team Hawk, I think they could have pressured a bit more there, but as we mentioned, keeping it clean, keeping it disciplined, knowing that they have the lead, but they also have a lot more early game options, so there's no point in taking unnecessary risks and letting S11 perhaps have an opportunity for a comeback. Look at the players' gold right here, Gary and Panda, all the way up there. And despite the fact that Kai has been left relatively untouched, he is still not as wealthy as Jotun, which is not ideal, right? At this point, the Karina is not the main carry that you can rely on to actually decide the fate of the game.
The items, right? That's what I really want to see for Kai right now. Does he have at least just the...
I think he's got 2. I think he's
2?
got Berserker's Fury and maybe Endless Battle. Not sure if he was building towards that yet. But, I mean, you saw the damage dealt. He's the highest there, but you saw how the discrepancy between the gold from him and even someone like Panda, right? I think it was around 2,000 gold difference. And so maybe in another 3-4 minutes, we'll see Kai pop off. Now we can take a look at the items. There it is. It is going to be that Berserker's Fury with the Endless Battle here, working on the next. So if he's going, is he going BOD here, Arashi? For the third?
I think BOD makes sense, especially with how you want to be playing, right? Just burst damage, assassinations, quote unquote. But Team Hawk right now is just zoning everyone. I mean, Kai has the steel leg plates, but it's so dangerous for him to be roaming around right here because Gary and Lola can very easily take him out. The steel leg plates alone will not be enough to secure, I don't know, his life in the big fights. And look at how Team Hawk is positioning, right? They're just looking for opportunities, moments where perhaps S11 will overextend just a bit, and they have the tools to just punish that. But now that the Lord is up, it's a completely different story.
I think you still just give this Lord away. You defend in your base.
Yeah.
You know, it's your 8K behind here in gold, and you don't have much movement around the map. No much space to move around in. So this is the thing, though. Even if you turtle up here for S11 and you try to protect Kai the best you can, man is still the issue, right? He could flicker in at any point and just lock down Kai. There's the Divine Glaive. That's even more big damn at this point. It's tough. It's tough here for S11, but they're going to have to defend against this Lord as soon as it spawns, and the Onslaught Siege from Team Hawk at 9K ahead from S11.
Now the question is, can they defend, right? With the amount of damage output and pick potential and even siege from Team Hawk, are S11 Gaming going to be able to withstand this? Arashi?
It's going to be very tough, man. I mean, if their core members don't get caught up in the initial assault, I think there's a chance, right? You can see the damage is starting to come through, but of course, with so much crowd control available, Team Hawk can just even zone and not even commit to a fight, and that will allow them to take down multiple structures or even end the game with good lane manipulation.
No conceal already. It's popped in by Min. That's going to be a resource valuable towards S11 as Papa Dog tries his best to zone the other members away. Erwin with an not blast, but it's going to be Min who kicks him away. Still, base turret is up. Gary jumps in for the time of the blade. Chance to be caught, and he's going to be taken down. Unstoppable picked up by Panda already. That's the mid laner gone. One of the high ground defense members is no longer alive for S11. Man flickering forward, trying to get Kai right now. Is Kai still able to actually get out? Lola getting out of harm's way right now. Man's going to be able to dish out the damage, but he's going to be taken down in the end by Kai. He's still in the back line, dealing a lot, dealing that true damage. As that's going to be Min caught. Double kill over to Kai, who's still trying to dish out the damage. And now you can see that he is starting to hurt. He is going to be able to dish out more as he's hunting for Panda. Panda picks up a godlike, flickers out, and Team Hawk have taken all 3 base turrets.
They've taken all 3 base turrets, but they gave several kills in the process. Of course, it's not a defeat. They have so much macro pressure right now, but S11, they need that influx of gold, and it comes into the right hands kind of, so they have a chance right here. But of course, with 10K gold difference, it's going to be very difficult for them to get a victory in the big team fight unless something crazy happens. A pickoff. Unless they do something crazy that Team Hawk can just not see coming.
I mean, even looking at the player head-to-head here, we already know Kai is going to be the saving grace here for S11 if they can turn this around. He picked up the BOD about 4 minutes ago. I was like, you know, they need to buy 4 minutes. They've done that, right? They did have a successful defense in their base. That's step number 1 here. If they want to go ahead and either find a pick-off of their own before that next Lord comes up, that's probably what they're going to try to do, get in position here. That will be crucial for S11 to turn this game around. They've just got to be careful because the base is fully exposed. They've got no inhibitor turrets left. That's why you have Papa Dog parking up here on the top side. Knows that Gary will be splitting around the map here, but in just a couple seconds, Lord now going to be up, and they've got to be careful on how they approach it.
That fight that S11 technically won was without Chan. Mindo looking for that position, goes on to Erwin. That's going to be Lola jumping in. Chance to be able to pop that Zaman Force. Topped up, and that's the unstoppable by Gary. Jotun tries to look for a kill, but will fall instead. Gary's going to be taken low, but the damage coming from Kai's. That's going to be Erwin melted down by Panda. Still Kai in the back, but will be petrified, knocked up, and taken down by Panda and Lola. It's a double kill by the Black Dragon, and now it's time for Team Hawk to march slowly up against one member from S11. Papa Dog all alone. The miracle play will not happen as Team Hawk will be able to secure their first win at M4, silencing S11.
What a performance, man. Everything just came in so well. They understood the macro decisions. They knew that S11 will be inquiring to see where they were. Are they going to be on the Lord? And they just go for the blockage. They went in behind them and completely zoned them away from their base. They did a great job defending when their backs were against the base, but the moment they ventured out, Team Hawk were waiting for the opportunity. They used the Lord strategically to bait out the members from S11, and they completely take them out.
I mean, a clean game, right, from Team Hawk. This is kind of what we
Solid.
expected too. I love the Adora pick. I love these unique heroes that are coming out, right?
Yes, it's so good.
We all had our ideas about the meta coming into M4, and I feel like some heroes were on the head, and then now we have these kind of spicy picks coming out, and I want to hopefully see more of that today and then into the knockout stage. But Eudora pick was so snowbally, and the burst was there, so congratulations just to Team Hawk in a well-played performance. Now, even for S11, it was, if for some reason the early game didn't go the way that it would, I feel like S11 could have possibly contested this match here. But unfortunately for them, I mean, by the time, 16-minute mark, Kai had picked up the items he needed, but still, at that point, it was too late.
This is why it's just so difficult, right? It only takes one. You think that a dominant game just requires so much setup, a big fight? Sometimes it's one single moment, right? We talked so much earlier about that almost like a misclick from the Lolita, right?
And also, they fell behind too much early on.
Exactly, because of these small moments, they fell behind just slightly, and Team Hawk, they are not a team that will allow you to make those kind of mistakes and not punish it. They grab onto it and ensure that you will pay the price for making a mistake against them.
Man.
So much.
Man.
We gotta mention man. Us here on the desk, man, and man in the game, because that Eudora pick, I still just wanna shout it out, right?
Shout it out.
Shout it out. Man on the Eudora. There we go. But oh man, again. This was the pick that, got them the game against Todak in the grand finals in MPL Malaysia Season 10. And I'm glad we're seeing it here on the world stage, right? Team Hawk are finally finding their comfort on stage, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, let's break it down, because you called it in the draft, Mirko. Arashi, how did this all come out for Team Hawk?
I think they have the right idea, right? Control the mid game, especially the mid lane as well. And we were talking about the synergy between Min and Man, and yes, the Cho and the Eudora being the main engage crowd control tools works very, very well. And I think that overall, the idea that they have so much burst damage just allows Panda, who at this point has so much damage right here. He has 3 damage items, but that's enough, right? The kit coming in from carry is what makes it so versatile, so flexible. He has 2 defensive items, and yet he was still able to melt down anyone who just spends long enough in front of his face. So it just makes it so difficult for S11, because they can't out-damage, out-burst Team Hawk, but at the same time, they can't really out-DPS them either. So they're caught in a difficult situation. They require some kind of surprise factor, but they don't even have the right crowd control tools, because even okay, they can run Erwin, maybe with a Flicker, Numinant Blast, but aside from that, Papa Dog was the only one that can just make an engage happen, but it's too telegraphed. The glue can't do that.
That's why I'm wondering, what if Jotun decided to build the Karina differently, right? Instead of pure damage, because at that point, you didn't really even get the opportunity to be that assassin Karina, right? Now, we have gone through stages where we've seen Karina built a different way, more so a tanky type, where you're kind of a distraction here. Maybe that could have worked for them, but let's take a look here on the stats for the game.
Well, Gary is still the rich guy. The carry, though, is gonna be Panda. He was free hitting a lot. There's a lot of beefy members just trying to tank damage on the set of S11, so that worked in his favor. Papadok, unfortunately, cannot tank enough because of the drafting, right? This all came down to the initial draft. They had just so many more tools, and whatever obstacle that S11 has prepared for Team Hawk, they have a solution, right? If it's the engage, they have crowd control. If it's that long-range marksman like that Leslie, they have the dive to deal with it. The tankier members like Papadog, they have the carry, and of course, we saw in that last fight, the Numinant Blast got cancelled by Min. So we talked about Team Hawk being reactive, and actually, they quite delivered in this game.
I think I mentioned it during the draft, right? If S11 really wanted to play with Kai or around Kai, they need that Lunox. I think they were looking for that kind of the same strat with the Harith, but Harith just doesn't have that damage. Even in later on against a Yuzong who's so sustainable, you won't be able to melt him down. But this is your MVP for the match, third match of the day, and it's Panda. Obviously, man, when you saw the head-to-head, you probably see that hey, Kai is miles ahead, but in this game, Panda showed levels, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't get to domesticate the Panda, which wasn't the key to victory,
It's
right?
a wild Panda right here.
Wild Panda just unleashing 8-0-4.
Team Hop protected Panda like he was an endangered species.
Yes, I mean, exactly,
They're
right?
so dangerous, though.
They are. They're dangerous, man.
They are.
Take them,
especially when they're violent, Arashi.
Exactly.
Especially when they're
still
Arashis.
bears. Okay, all right. Well, pandas are still bears in the end, so they are a very dangerous animal, and we'll see a bit of that killer instinct coming in from Panda in the highlights soon enough, because in this game, he was taking a lot of risks, and it looks quite reckless, but I think at the end of the day, he knows exactly what the potential plays are. Here is that almost fatal mistake we saw coming in from S11. It's very, very unfortunate. And with that lead, you can say Panda, see, he just knows. He is aware of all the potential threats, and he, despite being so upfront with the short range of the carry, he is just waiting, preparing his dashes to just get out of danger.
See, I think, Miko made a good point here. You saw that early burst damage coming out from Man, the Eudora, and if there would have been, let's say, a Lunox on the other side, that burst damage early on is there for you as well, whereas Harith needs a little bit of time to build up here. And that just kind of, the early game wasn't there for S11 the way that they wanted it to. And my other question is, like you said, Glue, is he really that OP, or is, because, I mean, I do agree that some teams honestly are just picking Glue because he's open in some situations, when you could actually just go with a different hero in the XP lane.
You're really seeing it here, right? I mean, I think Papa Dog, unfortunately, it's just he wasn't really able to do anything against the carry. He got melted down before he did anything, and he can't really act as that crazy frontliner when the only utility he has is on that slam, pass when he immobilizes the enemy.
It's a lot more one-dimensional, and I think in the right composition, I think the power, the main strength of a Glue is the fact that you're so tanky, right? You can be so disruptive, and at the same time, whenever anyone sends members at you, right? Any team tries to send the squad at you, you can escape very easily because of the regen combined with, just how annoying it is when the small blobs are just blocking out all those skills. So a Yuzong can almost operate the same way. So I think when you need pressure, when you need a huge distraction, or maybe a huge split, right?
The split?
Pun fully intended. If you need to split up your opponents by being in the center with a Glue, it makes sense. But if you're trying to dive in, you're trying to just like take someone out, something like a Yuzong or a Lapu Lapu just has so much more impact. And you see it today. Lapu Lapu and Yuzong both showing again the danger of a damaged EXP lane, especially when you're relying on your gold lane to survive.
Yeah, and actually, wait. The first Glue that we saw at M4, I just remembered, was on Vengeance, not on Flicker. And that was the one that was really OP.
You're right.
Maybe it's a battle spell.
Maybe.
Right? But we are going to look at the next match ahead of us just here. There it is, right now. Echo and RSG Singapore. Another crucial matchup here. And, I mean, Echo, very dominated, right? This is going to be a tough game for RSG Singapore, but still crucial. I mean, they do have a very strong squad as well. We've seen them plenty of times. And if it's anybody that can give an Echo a game here, it could be RSG Singapore.
There is a possibility still, all right? So, Group D, I think it's over for the three-way tie, I believe. Yeah, it's over for the three-way tie for Group D. But for Group C, if RGSG wins this, then RQ wins later against... There is a scenario for this to happen, all right? Group C is still up for grabs, the tiebreaker for first place. If Echo lose against RSG, that's the only one that we have to go through first.
The math meme appeared. But that is going to be it for us three, the man trio here. We're going to throw it over to a break, and there will be more action after this for match number 4 for the last day of the group stages. Again, I'm Nice. This is Mirko, and this is Arashi. We'll see you later.
You live only once. For once, leave the comfort zone and raise yourself up. Enjoy the moment. Enhance your creativity. Raise up your life through a wonderful journey.
My time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gon' live my best life. They been talking, tell me on me. You know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories. And something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now. Made it now. You can't ever break us down. Break us down. I'll be you for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not. And I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop. Yeah.
Touch your skull. You're a man of saving God. Touch your skull. You're the greatest option now. You and I can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fighting our hearts to be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you think you aimed? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me and telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I got the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it burn. Don't let me down, don't let it up. I'm on the road, accomplish all of my goals. And I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch your skull. You're a man of saving God. Touch your skull. You're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight.
to the ultimate battle in Jakarta. It's an amazing, beautiful tournament. I can't wait to get to the game. All eyes are on one stage only. All for that ultimate prize, to be M4 World Champions.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking dummy on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause rest the streets is what I made it now. Made it now. You can't ever break us down. Break us down. I'll be reaching for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not. And I'll never stop. Won't ever stop. Yeah.
Touch the sky. You're a man of seven gold. Touch the sky. You're the greatest future now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fire in our eyes, and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you take your aim? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember. So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I kept the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it proud. Don't let me down, don't let it all fall. I've been on the road, accomplished all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch the sky. You're a man of seven gold. Touch the sky. You're the greatest future now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. With fire in our eyes, and we are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
Hands on fire, giving up. They say that I finished what they want. I ain't never done. No. So turn it up, turn it all the way up.
Hands up, all of you get your hands up, all of you raise your hands up. Listen to what you feel inside. We gon' turn it up tonight. We gon' turn it up. We gon' turn it up.
Someday, you'll be the most shining light in the universe. The star will be burned for you, my flare.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking, tell me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now, made it now. You can't ever, ever, ever break us down, break us down. I'll be reaching for the stars, promise I'll be what they not, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever stop. Won't never stop, yeah.
Touch the sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch the sky, you're the greatest future now. You and I can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fighting our eyes and be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you take your aim? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I left the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it burn. Don't let me down, don't let it all fall. I've been on the road, accomplished all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch the sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch the sky, you're the greatest future now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd.
Will Echo remain undefeated? The question will be answered today, here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M4 World Championship live here in Bali United Studio, Jakarta, Indonesia. I am here today on the caster desk with Connie as well as Gideon and myself. What's my name again? Oh yeah, Eterna.
Well, GAG back here in the caster desk. I don't want to spell it out. Thank you, Eterna. You spell it out, but I'm feeling good, Gideon. What about you?
Honestly, today's games are going to be very interesting. Personally, I don't want to be that guy who has a vendetta against anybody, but I will say Singapore has left a very big mark at knocking out Malaysian teams during M3. So I'm kind of on the Echo bandwagon this time.
All right, he's on the Echo bandwagon. But before we get into those tidbits, those details of what actually happened, we want to remind you that M4 is powered by Moonton. Presented to you by TikTok, the official content partner, supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming chair and esports charts, our analytical partner, Gang, our official merchandise partner, MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not least, Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. Once again, thank you to our lovely sponsors, because M4 would not be possible without your support. Now, next up, it is going to be Echo going against RSG Singapore. And so far, Echo has been looking really good in form. They're almost at 3-0. They're able to get this next match.
Looking solid 2-0, and they are in a good situation. Maybe again, 3-0. Gideon, what do you think about Echo? Will somehow RSG give up a fight?
Look, it's going to be really, really tough here. And I think at the end of the day, only the best teams are going to survive as they go into the upper or lower brackets. But if you look at today's schedule, there's even more jam-packed Mobile Legends for you guys here at home. But I'm very much hoping that Echo is going to be sitting on top. As soon as we start to see how they play, and especially with JP, we're not even seeing Yaoi just yet. They're not even in their final form.
And on that note, we're going to take a look at today's schedule. Already 3 games have elapsed earlier on today, but we're starting to climb down to the final moments. Will it be another 3-way tiebreaker? It's all going to depend on this next upcoming match. And so I would like to remind, for those of you at home, the stakes of this match is quite high.
I mean, RSG, can they follow the pattern from the 3 previous matches, right? As 11 Echo THQ on the red side, and they won. RSG, can they follow the trend? Or perhaps Echo can break the pattern?
Look, I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories here, but everyone is going to be a little doubtful of RSG's odds. And coming from, a country who has been knocked down by many Singaporean teams in the past, when we're looking at these group standings, this is going to predetermine whether a tiebreaker is going to occur or whether RSG is in the running to maintain and actually qualify for the upper brackets.
That's the thing. Will it occur or not? Because yesterday, it was a tiebreaker, and we might be seeing one today. There was a possibility that today we would have had a total of 60 matches based on several different scenarios, but because of how things already unfolded earlier on, this is the last possibility. And my, oh my, Echo. How is this going to unfold, right? The thing is, RSG Singapore, they've been looking strong ever since Saint DeLucas joined them as coach, right? And sure, they suffered quite a loss during MPLI, but it feels like after that particular tournament elapsed, they have a lot to learn.
They have adapted. They have more added flexibility in their team lineup as well. But I feel like Echo, right, without even Yaoi, the main roamer, JP stepped a lot. He brings something new. He brings sauce. He brings something. I feel like other teams in that group, they were caught off guard.
I think they were expecting, the traditional Yaoi plays, traditionally how they want to move across the map, but with the addition of JP, I think they've really mixed things up, and it's great for Echo, but I don't want to count out RSG just yet, because again, they have some international experience, they played on the big stages before.
They want to achieve greatness, and this is going to be their first step if they can take down a major region here in the groups.
And I can't wait to take a sneak peek into their gameplay later on. But before that, let's take a sneak peek at all the M4 events and about all the rewards that you guys can actually get. The M4 Pass is already available for purchase. Exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, the Stellar Brilliance, and the M4 Beatrix figurine, and more actually await you. We also have a support chest that is now available in the game for you to open for loads of M4 Pass EXP. But my question is, what is going to happen on January 15th, Connie?
You can't expect to get an avatar border for free. In the M4 Battle Night event, unlock a skin chest by completing tasks and then pick a skin of your choice within the chest. Don't forget to use the hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great.
Look, guys, I mean, every single time we see an M series, we're expecting a figurine, but the M4 Pass Card campaign is already available. So quickly jump on it right now and complete all the activity tasks, and you'll be able to reach level 75 at ease and for free. You don't have to spend any diamonds like I did because, well, you know, I got a lot of free time. But log in now, and exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and even the M4 Beatrix figurine are awaiting you. Again, same hashtags, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBB M4, and Dare to Be Great.
Hashtag Dare to Be Great. Don't forget that, because that's the slogan of this M4. Don't forget to use it, guys.
Don't forget
but
to
we
use
are
it.
moments away from figuring out whether or not there is going to be a tiebreaker. And I can't wait to see the official team lineup from both these teams. Echo from the Philippines as well as RSG from Singapore.
Very classic battle if you really think about it, right? BH taking on the Singaporeans. But let's take a look at the team lineup from Echo.
Here we are, Echo from the Philippines. So once again, wait a second. Guys, it's Yawi in the roamer position. So JP will not be playing today. And this is the main five in front of you right now.
It's going to be Saji, Samfor, and the rest of the squad. But Yawi here to change it all up one more time to guarantee and secure the upper brackets.
Choo, the Echo Express is here. Welcome, Echo from the Philippines on stage in front of you as they are looking to go for an undefeated run.
Echo loud, Echo proud, and it seems like they are focused, they are confident again. Yawi now debuting, but they have a challenge in RSG. 505 Diablo, Baby Cake Spray, and Lozy, they are also going up against them.
They are young, but they are hungry. Hungrier than most people would imagine. The Singaporeans here didn't come around here just to mess around.
So now, on that note, let's welcome the back-to-back MPL Singaporean champions, RSGSG.
Man, oh man. They look ready. They look fresh. You're right. They're raw. They're young. But they're so promising, Gideon.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, Singapore is one of the few regions, and most people would count them out for being such a small country, but the truth is, they pack a lot of punch, and they've consistently gotten high rankings at the M Series, higher than Malaysia, which is why I have my vendetta, but still, it is going to be a great matchup here. Guys, don't leave. You have to stick around. Now, the talent predictions here is definitely going to be leaning towards Echo for sure.
Wow, I mean, what is that, 6 predictions, all from the talents here, all going for Echo. And I gotta say, it seems like at this point, RSG looking like the dark horse. Definitely something that we need to remember is don't count them out. But on the flip side, here we go. 3 for RSG, 3 for Echo.
Hey, yo, is Papulong casting right now? He apparently he's with, I think he's with RSG this time. That's interesting. I really thought it was going to be overwhelming majority, and especially with Echo being loud and proud, it can be very devastating. Oh, there's even fans in the crowd. Shout outs to you guys.
Yeah,
but remember though, Papulong, he loves to go for the anti-mainstream. He likes to be different. He likes to be different. He likes to go for the underdogs. He always loves that underdog story, and that's been just his identity basically when it comes down to the predictions. But he definitely knows something that perhaps that we don't.
He likes to spice things up. But 10 seconds to the first round here. Any expectations? Perhaps I feel like let's see the keys to victory here. Versatility is the key for Carl Teasy.
I mean, do we really need to introduce the M2 world champion here himself? Absolute monster on these assassins, but with his new team around him built, dedicated to be the best. Echo is just one of those teams where you always have to, it feels like you're walking on eggshells when you're around them as you move around the map.
But now we're going to take a look as well at the keys to victory for RSGSG. How exactly are they going to take this point away from Echo?
Well, personally, I think one of the biggest weaknesses coming in from RSG is the fact that they don't close out games fast enough. And with the meta as it is right now being very heavily snowball efficient, you've got to keep yourself in check all the time. One single mistake could be another 2-3 minutes wasted in the overall game.
Looking for the snowball effect indeed, but I do like the point here, raid Echo and catch them off guard. I personally feel like they need to be more proactive in the game. Remember, this is still a best of one, so technically anything can happen. Sure, on paper, Echo is a very strong team, but at this point, right, like we mentioned repeatedly, anything can happen.
No, I'm actually quite curious to see like the differences in data. Like, I know we don't have like much of an example because it's only been like a couple of games for them to play, but I really want to see who is more aggressive in that early game, who drafts for that early game, who's more who prefers the late game better.
I'll call it right now. Echo is the more flexible team when it comes down to being aggression, and when it comes to aggression. And even when we're looking at audience predictions, they're leaning towards Echo's side. Oh, there's actually a good amount of support for RSG. I thought it was going to be overwhelming.
A third.
But back to the question, RSG, most Singaporean teams are very slow, very tactical. They love the later stages of the game. They love the step-by-step process, which is one of those things where we must ask the question, is that the most effective strategy these days?
I feel like yes and no, because sometimes if you can't take the early game and 12 minutes in and you can't finish it off if you have a healthy amount of lead. But another point that I want to brought up is they need to pressure Benny QT's farming pattern, right? The gold lane, they need to really somehow pressure so that Benny QT does not have the space. But I think I smell the drafts coming up.
I think I do as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from seeing the drafts of both Echo Philippines and RSGSG. And honestly, I'd love to see the go in that jungle position, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's Bray's flavor. As here you go, ladies and gentlemen, we are going straight into the drafting phase where Echo Philippines are on the blue side and RSGSG on the red.
Personally, I'm really excited for this match because one of these up-and-coming, these rising stars, especially from Singapore, is going to be Baby Cakes. He's been talked about so long and so very often. His biggest test is going up against Benny QT, who is one of the bigger win conditions for the side of Echo. So if their draft is going to be orientated based on what we're seeing so far towards that bottom side of the map, the gold lane of the map, this could be very frustrating for Benny QT specifically, which opens up many options for people like Sanford, like we saw earlier today.
That's the thing, right? I mean, Baby Cake's a very young talent, and Benny QT, though, he's new, but he is very, very talented as well. Can he withstand the pressure? Bansdal, Diggy, Kaja, and Martes ban out from the side of Echo. RSG bans out the Prio more. Enjoy, and as well as that 1-1 taking their time in their last ban, so that's a good thing.
It's a respect ban, right? We see the Martis being taken away from RSG by Echo, realizing that Bray did use this in the past, so they are starting to limit the possible picks that Bray can bring here in the Land of Dawn. But you can see the last ban coming through. The Yves is going to be taken now, but that leaves the carry for Echo once again into the hands of Benny QT.
Yep, that's totally fine. Starting off, most people can either start off with the glue or with the carry. If you go with the carry, at least you have an answer for glue, who has been overwhelmingly popular here so far during the group stages. Now, the question is whether or not RSGSG is looking to counter draft or play for their own strategy. Based on what we saw in previous games and the overall standings from Echo, it doesn't matter what the enemy does. We're going to play our strategy whether you like it or not. You have to play around us.
Exactly, and I think I love that confidence. I like that philosophy from the side of Echo, right? They have the first pick as well, a very good setup to play around for themselves, sticking with their identity. Now RSG will respond with a Fredrin pick, who is very, very popular here in M4. Regardless, right? Carry counters Fredrin, they still pick that up, but a very quick response here from Echo. Halt easy. No, Echo picked up Valentina.
Now that's the thing, right? Because I thought RSG would have picked up the Valentina with the Fredrin, but no, they opted for the Lolita first. And we're gonna see, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Am I seeing that Echo picked up the Cho?
Yup. Expect to see some staple plays coming out from Echo's side. However, based on what we're seeing so far, I'm looking at RSG. The fact that they picked up the leader so early on, especially when all you saw was carry, does beg the question, are they looking to deny? I'm expecting Beatrix maybe to be coming out here for the side of RSG. There is a chance they could be locking in EXP laners, but I feel like that gives off too much. So mid laner is most likely. And here we go. There we go. BAHASA already locked in the artillery mage to make sure that Valentina, you want to steal my ult? I'm going to punish you for it.
Not really popular here, BAHASA in M4, but sometimes picked up. And there you go. The ban towards Yuzong, a very critical ban. They're realizing that BAHASA is very vulnerable if the Yuzong is on the opposing side. But Echo responds with a rather quick ban as well. And that Harith. Now, what do you think about Harith, Gideon?
So far, I think Harith is actually not that bad. Again, if you want to play a little bit more passively in the lane, you absolutely can do so. His 1v1 potential is so very good, especially when he gets his first item. It really depends on the situation, because some matches are a lot harder than others, but with your range and the way that you time your spells, you can really manipulate the waves in your favor to maintain the advantage and slowly overcome the odds when your opponents hit their own 2-item power spike, for an example.
I agree, but the one thing that I noticed about Harith is that he's very susceptible to CC. So that was really utilized in the previous match that we saw. But coming back into the drafts here, we do see an Akai being banned out from the side of RSG, as well as the Claude ban from Echo. So far, Baby Cakes, he has used the Claude. They're starting to limit Baby Cakes' options right now. And with the current lineup that he has, right, Fredrin, Lolita, Farsa, against the carry, the Valentina, and the Cho, what is the correct goal laner to you?
It's kind of tough to say, but Benedetta gets locked in for the side of RSGSG. Now, it begs the question whether Benedetta is going to go into the jungle or into the EXP lane. Based on what we've seen so far, we should expect it to go into the EXP. And Echo, so very smart. They want to say, hey, even if we were expecting glue, but if you want Benedetta, that's totally fine. Now, no matter what marksman you pick, you're always going to be under that threat, and Lolita can't do anything about it.
Adding more pressure as well to the Farsa, right? You already have the Cho that can just target that Farsa, perhaps forcing that Farsa to even use Purify, but add also Grok, that Feather Airstrike can be easily cancelled. Fanny, though, comes in and picks up twice, still 0%, and they revive the win rate.
Oh, that last pick, Fanny, though, in the hands of Carl TZ himself. This is looking awfully dangerous, honestly, because RSG, they weren't equipped for this. They weren't able to draft against this. They don't have the CC to quite pin him down. Without the Franco, without that reliable source of CC, it's going to be difficult to shut down this Fanny. And the only thing that they could do was choose the gold laner, and the gold laner is Beatrix.
Yeah, you could see it on the faces of RSG. They know that this draft is particularly difficult to pull off with what we're seeing coming in from Echo. It's all about timing, and it's all about finding the right opportunities, which is not exactly within the playstyle of RSG overall. They like that structure, and if you break out of that structure, man, it gets very chaotic very quickly.
So let's see here again. Composition-wise, it is going to be very balanced. It's going to be up to the early game. No. I mean hero power-wise, but early game, it is all towards Echo.
Yeah, he's got his Dragon Balls. I can literally see when the camera's off, he pulls up his Dragon Ball Z Power Scouter. He's just like, Oh, there we go. 10,000.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, right now it seems like Echo have drafted themselves a victory, but it all depends on execution as we head into the land of dawn to see Echo Philippines go against RSG Singapore.
Spam your hashtags. It is Echo Loud, Echo Proud, or GGRSG. Ladies and gentlemen, let's witness. Will Echo remain undefeated, or can RSG make something happen?
Let's find out right here, right now, because we're seeing a potential cheese up on the top side here. Yawi looking to punish this Beatrix, and that's the thing, right? Beatrix is supposed to be good in lane, but as soon as you add some external factors, it becomes a bit of a problem.
Let's see here already. Spell checks. Yeah, 505 on that BAHASA is somehow forced to use that Purify, but Echo, they're feeling confident, they're feeling aggressive. They are going to use 4 flickers. Let's see how it will work out.
I mean, let's take a look at the emblems before things go too heavy, right? Because when we see Echo, the choice of emblems, a lot of high and dries here. I think they're going to be playing for those pickoffs. So RSG Singapore, they need to be aware of that. They need to see that this is going to be the play that they want to go for in the early game especially. But they do have to wait for Yawi to get that level 4 in order for him to assist in that pickoff strat.
Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at the emblems, it just immediately tells us what Sanford is playing for, right? When you have high and dry, he understands that, unfortunately, Diablo isn't going to be as strong as him, especially with the unbending will. But top side now.
3v1 called TZ with the cables, jumps in towards Baby Cakes. Baby Cakes, even without the flicker, is still quite safe.
I don't know. I feel like if Echo really wanted to, they could have dove that, but I guess they pulled back because they didn't see Lulzy until the very last second when he showed up mid. So, I don't know. I think it's the safer play for Echo. Don't really need to force any agendas now with Turtle coming up in 3 seconds.
I mean, right now, RSG, I don't see them being able to actually take this next objective away because we already see that Echo is starting to set up for it. Ray in the vicinity, trying to open up the map. But what's happening bot side?
Sanji forced the flicker, but first blood will fall to the hands of RSG. Can they steal this one? 4v3, Nomian Blast will not be able to connect as Call TZ will find the first turtle. Echo equalizing a kill for the turtle.
Now, but that was the thing that I was so concerned about. I think I've said it over and over that they don't have anyone, one, to pressure Carl TZ in the jungle. Because usually when we see an assassin being used, we see someone like the Marsha or the Hilda to be able to deny those rotations. Second of all, they also don't have a source of CC other than the Numenon Blast coming in from RSG, which is so easy to cancel.
Look, I mean, this is just a testament to how Singaporeans, especially professional teams at the highest level, play. They're very, very structured. They know that they can play the later stages of the game much better than most teams, as their general understanding of macro is a lot deeper. And they don't want to rely on things like risk, reward. Who needs that when you have a very clear pathway to victory?
They don't like the gamble, it seems like, but minute number 3, Benny QT has secured the first item, Corrosion Scythe. And take a look at the emblem here, Gideon. Anything significance, perhaps?
Well, other than Sanford's high and dry, he could have picked up Weapon Master if he wants to, but at this stage of the game, I mean, he knows his matchup against Diablo is going to be heavily in his favor for the majority of it. It's a wet noodle fight, right?
Cutthroat on towards 505, and he goes down immediately. Echo, with the early game potential that they have, seems like now they are controlling the tempo.
Yeah, they already have that benefit. Oh my god, Yawi goes in!
Jet Kundo Flicker connects, and we can see here an all-out brawl. Carl TZ jumps in with the cable. Sanji picking up a kill. RSG retreating right now. Lulzy might be next here. No commitment just yet. Echo with the intelligent engage and disengage.
That must be so frustrating, right? Because RSG, they're betting on the Numenon Blast, whereas Echo, they have Yawi to work around to initiate, but they also have that beautiful follow-up coming in from Sanji, but Diablo, he's gonna be taken down. Goodbye, Diablo.
And that's why
Let's
you
go.
take high and dry. No, we were literally on this. We were going to say the exact same thing. I was hoping you were going to commit to that, right? The high and dry makes all the difference here. If you had Weapon Master, it probably wouldn't have the same effect.
Second neutral objective will be secured comfortably by the hands of Echo. Again, RSG, they are behind on rotation, so they need to find something to equalize.
Okay, so pickoffs for Echo right now. The neutral objectives so far have also been dominated by Echo. RSG, when will it be the time for them to turn online and find that power spike that perhaps they haven't found yet here in the 5th minute?
Well, all of it is dependent on both 505 and Baby Cakes, who are supposed to be the ones who can actually pull them towards the later stages of the game. But let's see, because Lolzy has a lot of work to do. He can only be in so many places at once.
Yeah, you can see your top side already. 3v4, perhaps potentially 5v5. Kaltizi jumps in. Cutthroat connects, but no, not enough damage just yet. RSG pulls back.
I see the fact that Baby Cakes has been pressured quite a lot, but he's not that far behind in terms of that level gap. So it's very interesting to see what the items say, but
Oh, he lands it! Oh my god, the stun, everything goes down. Kaltizi, RSG.
Top.
Find the equalizer, in particular the top side. Flicker pops. My goodness, Baby Cakes with the 1 HP retreat. And we can see here already the Bolt Roamer is just punching bags, but okay, let's see. Conceal on towards the purple buff. Gray trying to steal that orange buff. Wave Dragon connects, not enough damage as that. Kaltizi with the retribution, but Kaltizi takes down Lolzy. Minds the double. No, Penny QT will pick up the kill. So again, Echo with the control of their jungler.
That's really unfortunate for RSG. They had a really good idea. They knew that the purple buff was going to come up. They wanted to get a punish specifically onto Kaltizi, but unfortunately, Echo had the foresight to understand that RSG wants to go for the punish, so instead they go for the counter engage, and the G Kundo specifically on Lolzy to deny it. Beautifully done.
Kundo Flicker connects on towards Baby Case here, top side. They are looking for the collapse, but it seems like RSG is on time to defend. Lolzy trying to open them up the map. Oh, my Dragon Penny QT with the shurikens jumps in, and Kaltizi to clean it off. Turtle now open 5v4. RSG, is this the right move? Yeah, I feel like they should just let this go. Third turtle, Kaltizi looks to secure this. Let's see.
But remember, it's Echo not having those really important utilities in their ultimates. But here we go. Another engage coming in from Yawi.
Well, what's Baby Cakes? Baby Cakes got the turtle. He stole it on the nose of Kaltizi. What is going on as RSG finds the equalization? And the turtle, get in.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. I was shocked for a second. I couldn't believe that Baby Cakes actually got that, but that's great for RSG. Just look at this lead that Echo has, right? They want to be at least 5K by this point.
Wave Dragon, 3v1 Diablo caught off guard there. And it seems like Echo will find the first tier turret bot side. And now RSG, they are looking for an equalization, but what can they do?
Well, you can expect that, Kaltizi is going to look to make the aggressive play, but overall, RSG, if they have to sacrifice objectives, so be it. They still need to scale. That is their objective, right? Because Farsa is going to make Benny QT's life so very difficult, and the second question is whether or not Lolzy can actually handle Sanford, and on paper, it should be a no as long as there's a wall.
My goodness, just the kill pressure that Kaltizi brings to the table. Baby Cake still surviving that one. But take a look at the mid side. Ray, 505, looking for a setup. But River, no comment. Oh my god, River top side. Lolzy gets caught with the Wave Dragon, and 4-member is technically on him. There you go. Down goes Lolzy.
I mean, you mentioned something about RSG and like the Singapore region in general of how that, oh my god, but wait a minute!
Bye-bye Kaltizi, bye-bye Baby Cakes. Now Bray trying to look something, trying to go for the clear as Echo will not be able to seize that mid side as, Diablo finds compensation top side.
Now, right now, we can see that RSG, they're starting to figure out Echo, right? Echo, they like to go in for those pickups, but with a lot of members, they're using a lot of manpower, and therefore Diablo has started to be able to use that to their advantage by starting that split push. And if this goes on over and over, it could be RSG still staying relevant in the game, Gideon.
For sure. I mean, that's the idea. Both EXP laners are looking to gain pressure into the side lanes to kind of pull them apart for these neutral objectives. It's difficult, but now the kick comes through.
Oh my god, Bray gets deleted. Whoa. Human Blast connects onto his one here. No follow-up damage just yet. Sanji trying to find something. Benny QT in the backside finds the Farsa. Benny QT will get the shutdown though. And now it is going to be a 3v3. Sanji Flicker as a defense. Baby Cakes in a tough situation. Oh, that Kundo is big. Baby Cakes though finds a double as Sanford will find a trade. At the end of the day, it's going to be 4v2. But my goodness, The Fanny, out of nowhere, finds the kill.
Oh my god, a 4-for-2 trade, and let's make it more? Okay. He didn't want to commit onto that. He didn't want to make that mistake. But even then, Echo still with a huge trade on the board.
It was so very close. Baby Cakes was trying to pull it by himself. He's like, all right, boys, get onto the backpack. We're going to try and take out as many of these boys as possible. Yawi played it well. He was delaying his G Kundo on purpose, knowing that the tactical roll coming in from Beatrix was going to come off of cooldown really soon, just to ensure the kill was going to get through. Cartesi, however, have to keep in mind, he's very dependent on this purple buff. So if RSG finds the opening to deny it from him, these neutral objectives will become a lot easier to contest.
And right now, they are going to start setting up for this next Lord. But look at this, RSG already on the way. Let's see who is going to be able to take it, as Echo seems to have the better setup for now.
They're trying to bait out information with the whereabouts of RSG members. 5 members come up here. Rosie trying to face check. Wave Dragon, Benny QT. Take a look at the damage. And Sanford will confirm the kill. Sanford will retreat as they are confirmed 5v4. So they should take Lord quite comfortably.
No issues whatsoever. I don't know. I think at this point, adjustments need to be made. Like RSG, yes, they were giving up the Lord, but they cannot let Lolzy just keep walking, and he clearly isn't tanky enough to face check these rushes. They need to check it with 505, who actually has the range to do so, or maybe even Diablo, who has Eye for an Eye available.
So now we're going to take a look at the in-game items. What has been happening so far?
Based on what I can see, it's 3. Wow, actually a lot of gold. And Baby Cakes is actually trying to keeping up with Benny QT, despite him having 3 full kills on his side, and also an outrageous laning phase. 505 is in trouble.
Oh my god, Purify, nothing matters. Carl TZ will find the kill. Diablo finds a 3-man Petrify here in the backside. Sanji goes down. Diablo taking a lot of damage here. Can he survive? But Sanford in the backside deals a lot of damage as well. Unstoppable for Sanford with that barrier. What the heck, Echo? They are just running everything full throttle.
They have so much kill pressure here. It's insane. Did you see how they did that team fight? They actually split it. You could see that Sanford was pressuring that backside. 505 went down. Baby Case was being pressured. And at the end, the damage dealers, the main carries from RSG, they didn't have an answer to that.
They don't have it just yet, but it takes time to get their Echo. Now with a solid 5k lead, they're going to lose their inhibitor down on bot side. This is the position that Echo has been looking for a long time. The end is nigh. When we see that 95-second clock reach 0, this Lord is going to be so very important for Echo to try and close out this game. If not, RSG will delay it for another full 5 minutes.
5,000 gold lead here for Echo. And you can see the player's gold that you're right, Baby Cakes, he hasn't fallen too far. So they still do have potential coming in from him. But that depends on how RSG is going to be able to protect him, right? Because so far, Baby Cakes has been pressured so much. And you're right, Lolzy, he hasn't been able to protect too much because he isn't as tanky. He's not as sustainable as someone like, let's say, Sanford or even Yawi in this situation.
I think what's the most, like, if you were in SG's position, right, it's not like you're making bad decisions. And especially in that last fight, I think that was the best example. You were making all the right calls, you were looking and targeting all the right people, but Echo, oh yes, Yawi, he was able to get the Shunpo to dodge the stun. Oh, and even Sanford dropping the wall at 1 HP, holding it off to wait for his opponent to turn the corner so he doesn't expect it. They're just getting outplayed. It's not like SG is making bad choices.
I mean, we can see here Echo already somehow establishing a healthy amount of gold lead, but what I do really want to point out is their mechanics, their macro is also very on point. Sanford here being everywhere, disgusting. Take a look at this barrier delay.
Wave manipulation, the beauty of Grok. Not a lot of heroes can do that. But so far, I think RSG now taking position up on towards the Lord side.
See here already moving on towards the Valentina, but it seems like Sanji still is too slick. RSG has given up position though. Echo, can they capitalize on this? Yawi on the conceal will not find anything just yet.
Oh, this is scary because Echo, they have Yawi, they have Sanford, and they have Sanji to work with. So when they group as 5v5, Echo will definitely have a better chance, but here we go. The fight for the Lord.
Numenum Blast from Valentina finds Bray. No fall damage just yet, but Lolzy here will not find the right connection as well. RSG They are resetting here, 13,000 HP.
They need to make a choice right now. I mean, the minions are pushing in into their base. They're going to get backdoored by Kalatizi if they don't choose now.
Oh my god, Kalatizi, will they read this? Junpo tries to delay, but no, my god, 505 trying to fly. Sanford, Yawi goes down, but Kalatizi in the backside. Benny QT, the base Echo outplayed RSG.
Echo remains undefeated. Upper bracket secured with a beautiful, beautiful split push by Benny QT as well as Carl TZ. Congratulations, the Philippines. Very unfortunate for RSG in that moment, but my god, Gideon, how did you see that?
Anger, nightmare. That's exactly what this is. You don't want to see that happen, and they were purposefully delaying this Lord for that to happen and roll out of control. Wow. It's so frustrating. Like, yes, I have a vendetta against RSG, but they don't deserve to lose like that.
Oh, man. And like, while we were doing the play-by-play, like, I was watching you and the Lord, and I didn't see it. And then Gideon started screaming, and I'm like, oh!
There's a chance. There's even Kalatizi somehow hesitated, right? But when he jumps in, he just knows Benny QT was in the right position as well. And it's just GG.
Personally, I think they were talking about it. I think, they knew for a fact with the inhibitor already opened on the bottom side of the map for RSG and that wave pushing in, the question became, does Kalatizi have enough damage to rush this down, or does he need support? And that's why they were delaying, and you start seeing Sanford, he got extra aggressive. He was willing to throw his body to slow down RSG. At that point in time, RSG needed to make a choice. It's either you take the Lord or you back off. You can't take everything, and I think Echo overall played it perfectly, as good as it could get.
That was unfortunate though, and that kind of brings up the point about how great RSG is at wave manipulation, right? Because if you want to go for something like the neutral objective like the Lord, that's like the first thing you do. You clear your waves. But I guess it was kind of difficult with the way and like how everyone was so mobile, so they could go and split through the lanes and just push that pressure on.
Well, I wouldn't say that it was wave manipulation. I definitely think it was taking advantage of the situation more than anything else, right? Because if it was wave manipulation, then it would just be Sanford all by himself, like piling up that wave with the wall for as long as possible. But man, definitely RSG has a couple of things to actually go back, VOD review, because they were making some good choices and keeping that gold lead as tight as possible until that very first Lord, and then all hell broke loose.
Very good display of communication, coordination, and chemistry. I mean, the decision-making in-game Echo was just so... I don't know, I think... Was it a perfect game, you think?
Predatory, that's what it was like. It
was quite brutal.
It was.
Very aggressive. They didn't give RSG room to breathe at all, but we're going to take a look at the post-game stats and items here between that game. 16-8, it was 15 minutes, so we can't say it was that one-sided.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't one-sided for sure. It's so very stressful in a situation, especially when a lot of the damage is reliant on both Baby Cakes and 505. Baby Cakes taking so much pressure and aggression from Echo, but still defending it with the rest of his team communicated properly, made his life a lot easier. But even though the score is 16-8, pull this back a couple of minutes. Look at the goal lead. It's only 5K despite that score line.
I mean, we can see here from the composition, like 2 high and dries, only 1 technically built tank. So we already know that they are going in. They are going to go aggressive. And on the side of RSG, it seems like it is so hard for them to find the right effective team fight per se. Why? They lack in that CC department, I feel like. Crowd control, not too huge on the RSG side.
I'll take you one step further. It's because of the, well, I don't want to say anti, but immune to CC. Yawi, he does not miss those Shun Pos. And let's not forget Sanford on that Grok, that power of nature, still really disgustingly good. So many times when we were seeing Lolzy trying his best to get a good Numenon blast, both Yawi and as well as Sanford just either do not care or deny RSG 505 specifically from using that feather airstrike effectively.
Again, it's just clean execution from both all 5 members. Echo, they are in a very good position, and so they are confirmed upper brackets here. Get in.
Yes,
who will
they
gonna meet? They're in Group C.
They're currently in Group C, so therefore they should be going up against the winner of Group D, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I'm going to double check that for you guys back at home afterwards, but let's have a look at the post-game stats. And this is what I'm most interested on, because overall, damage dealt, 164,000 compared to 121,000. You would have expected it to be more favored into Echo, at least taking maybe 70% of the overall damage, but so far, in terms of damage taken as well, 90,000 difference overall.
Wow, that's huge, right? I mean, take a look at the categories as well. I mean, Benny QT was all over the map. Even though 56% KP, but he knows when to farm, where to farm. 56,000 damage, and Bray, the jungler from RSG, will take the sandbag. Meanwhile, Yawi, the Cho, 69% KP. Nice. 10 assists. Forgotten one.
Forgotten one. I mean, Yawi, he's coming back in. He's showing off on this show. Man, it feels like he doesn't get CC'd at all. A 15-minute game, very clean coming in from Echo, but it does show the Singaporean defense is very, very good for the earlier stages of the game. The question is, when push comes to shove, can they actually contest or have enough gold to make sure they can fight for Lords? Because that is still the end game mechanic.
I personally feel okay, now I'm going to ask you, Gideon. Who is going to be MVP?
Honestly, I don't know. This one's tough because everybody on Echo played well.
Benny QT, it's going to be Cho. It's going to be Yawi.
Of course, got to give him the trademark.
Exactly. He got MVP in his debut, 1-10 on his signature hero as well. 69% KP. And of course, take a look at the item builds here. Very standard, but his mechanics, even though he was on rest, I guess, yesterday in the first day, but
he was hidden.
He was hidden, but there you go, showing up with style.
Yeah, I'm showing up big time as well. Man, it's rough because we're going to look at the highlights and I can explain exactly why this felt so difficult. Like, number one, the draft was already not in RSGSG's favor, and they knew it for sure, and yet they were still putting on a good performance. Echo, if they wanted to, could have pressed the heat even more and slow-grilled RSG painfully, but move after move, when RSG finally has the opportunity to actually find that advantage, Echo has an instant counterattack.
Again, it's... the way I see it, Echo just read RSG like a book. Rotation-wise, execution-wise, everything is just so fast. And yeah, again, mechanically, they are just above Sanji. Oh, he got low so many times, but no deaths, technically.
Yeah, no deaths whatsoever. And I think, the adjustments from Echo in the beginning of the game, you could see them, pushing and pulling in many different areas of the map. But things like this, you're seeing just the outplays coming in from Echo, despite the fact that they were in a losing situation. Turn the corner, dead, instantly.
Man, killer instincts is just there. But let's now, on that note, let's throw it to Eterna for the interview segment. Eterna, take it away.
Thank you so much, casters, for that wonderful analytical breakdown of the game. But right now, I am here with Carl Teasy, of all people. Can we please have a round of applause for him first? Congratulations, Carl Teasy. The crowd is going wild for you. And honestly, I'm shaking standing next to the MVP of M2. Who would have imagined? But everyone's got the same question, I feel. Like, that was the first game that we've seen where someone was able to win it from, I wouldn't say backdoor, but a split push meta. So the question is, Carl Teasy, whose call was that?
Ako po talaga unang nag-call nun. Kaso, parang itutuloy nila yung Lord kasi kaya napaback din ako. Tapos, nung sinabi nila na reset, nag-back na ako. Tapos, sinabihan na lang nila ako na isegue ko na lang.
Initially, it was really my call. But they were going for the Lord. So I went back a bit, and then when they just went for it, we all just went with the backdoor.
Wow, so it was your call to go for that, and it did wonders. And this is basically a 3-0 clean, undefeated journey for you in the group stage, and all you need to get to is the upper brackets. Now, when we're talking about the upper brackets, you have the potential to either go against Team Valley or Team Hack. Who would you rather meet up there in the upper brackets?
Team Hack kasi sila yung Malaysian champion.
He said the team hack because they're the Malaysian champions.
Huh? Oh, okay. So you want to go against the champions here. Okay. Okay, I have another question for you. So we know that Coach Ark, he's now with RRQ, but he used to be the coach for Echo. Now, how did it feel to go against your former coach?
Ano po, masaya po. Tapos nakaka-enjoy durugin si Coach Ark.
It's wonderful and
Nakaka-enjoy durugin si Coach Ark.
it's fun destroying Coach Ark.
It was fun destroying Coach Ark. Okay, so now I have a last question for you, right? So because you were the MVP of M2, you're coming back here as one of the veterans, one of the legends, I would say. You even have your own skin. So do you have any messages to anyone out there, perhaps maybe the teams watching you right now?
Sa mga teams na nanonood sa amin, di pa to lahat. Abangan nyo lang.
Hindi pa?
Hindi pa ito yung...
Okay. To everyone watching, this isn't even our full power.
It's not even their full power. Wow. Okay. If that wasn't their full power, things are going to get even spicier coming into the knockouts. Thank you so much, Carl Teasy. Once again, congratulations. We'll see you in the upper brackets. Thank you as well. And let's go back to our wonderful casters. Take it away.
Thank you, Eterna and Carl Teasy. What a spicy interview. Gideon.
This wasn't even their final form. I mean, do we call it or do we call it? Come on, I'm just saying.
I'm shaking right now, literally.
It's breathtaking to see, teams coming back stronger than ever, but the gap has closed up, whether it's from east or west or even in Southeast Asia. Evolution continues to push these teams forward for that grand prize of being the champion of M4 this time. It'd be crazy if Kaltisi 2 times does it again.
It was a crazy match, but we got more crazy matches, and up next, it is going to be confirmed the Valley will go up against Team Hack, the champion from Malaysia, and as well as NACT champion, NA Rep.
NA represent here, but I don't know. This is going to be a really tough one because whoever wins that upcoming matchup gets to go in towards the upper bracket. A lot is on the line.
So on that note, Gideon and Connie, on behalf of Eterna and the rest of the crew, will take a short break. Make sure to stay tuned for the next match. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a break.
You live only once. For once, leave the comfort zone and raise yourself up. Visit new places. Look for new uniqueness. Take a new experience. Raise up your life through a wonderful journey.
right. I'm gonna live my best life. They've been talking, tell me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now. You can't ever break us down. I'll be speaking for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not, and I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop.
Touch your sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch your sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it out, always will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you pick your aims? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I kept the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it burn. Don't let me down, don't let it up. I'm on the road, accomplish all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch your sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch your sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it out, always will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is
coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They've been talking, tell me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now. You can't ever break us down. I'll be speaking for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not, and I'll never ever stop. Won't never stop.
touch your sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch your sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it out, always will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you pick your aims? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I kept the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it burn. Don't let me down, don't let it up. I'm on the road, accomplish all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch your sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch your sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd.
victory.
We are getting closer to the ultimate battle in Jakarta. It's an amazing, beautiful tournament. I can't wait to get to the game. Where all eyes are on one stage only. All for that ultimate prize, to be M4 World Champions.
It's my time, I'm a ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking dummy on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories. It's something that's gotta give. Cause work the streets is what I made it now. Made it now. You can't ever break us down. Break us down. I'll be reaching for the stars. Promise I'll be what they not. And I'll never stop. Yeah.
Touch the sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch the sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it out, eyes on me are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you take your aim? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember. So many times, I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I kept the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it proud. Don't let me down, don't let it all. I've been on the road, accomplished all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch the sky, you're a man of saving God. Touch the sky, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. We fight it out, eyes on me are strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is
Coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
Hands off, I ain't giving up. They say that I finished what they want. I ain't never done. No. So turn it up. Turn it all the way up.
hands up. All of you get your hands up. All of you raise your hands up. Listen to what you feel and say. We gon' turn it up tonight. We gon' turn it up. We gon' turn it up.
my time, I'ma ball. I'ma get this money right. I'm gonna live my best life. They been talking, tell me on me, but you know they'll never win. I'm controlling all my victories, and something has gotta give. Cause this is just what I made it now, made it now. You can't ever, ever, ever break us down, break us down. I'll be reaching for the stars, promise I'll be what they not. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever stop, won't never stop, yeah.
Touch your skull, you're a man of silver gold. Touch your skull, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the crowd. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fire in our eyes, we will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you take your aim? You know that this is.
I've been down, been waiting so long. I'm here for the crown, I'm here to show off. Greatness time, just waiting to show y'all. This is your time to remember.
So many times I lie in the basement waiting for greatness. No, I won't listen to anyone hating on me, telling me I wouldn't make it. Cause I did everything that they said I couldn't. Caught my footing and I got the controls. I stand for something, I ain't running now. I'm the greatest now, I just wanna make it proud. Don't let me down, don't let it all fall. I'm on the road, accomplish all of my goals, and I ain't gonna let you down.
Touch your skull, you're a man of silver and gold. Touch your skull, you're the greatest option now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. With fire in our eyes, we will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. And again, pick your aim, you know that this is
Coming for the game, cause we ready for the victory.
accompanying RRQ Akira in the upper brackets of Group D. We are back to bring you more Mobile Legends Bang Bang M4 World Championship action. I am Eterna, and together joining with me today is Connie as well as Gideon. Now, before we start our next match, let's thank our official sponsors. M4 is powered by Moonton, presented to you by TikTok, the official content partner. Supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming chair, and Esports Charts, our analytical partner, Genk. Our official merchandise partner, MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not least, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. Without your continuous support, the M4 World Championship will not be possible and would not be as great as it is today. Now, Goni, Gideon, starting with Goni, how are we feeling about this next upcoming match?
I personally feel, I can't wait.
Okay.
Right? Because that's my middle name. But again, the Valley, Team Hack, the champion from Malaysia, and as well as the Valley and a rep. It's going to be very interesting, Gideon, to see the clash of styles that these team will bring.
Look, I'm known as the person who likes to sit on the fence a lot, the one who likes to look at both sides. But today of all days is going to be really important because one of these teams are going to be going into the upper brackets, and we're not sure which one it is going to be. So hopefully you guys stick around. Let's have a look at today's schedule to keep you up to date in case you didn't catch up to what is happening here at M4.
Okay, we're moments away of checking out today's schedule. Remember, we still have 2 matches ahead of us today, starting with Team Valley as well as Team Hack.
So it's going to be a very interesting. Can Team Hack bring the momentum? Because earlier, they were up against S11 Gaming and they won that match in a very convincing fashion as well.
And even when we're thinking about Hawk right now, the Valley is still an imminent threat coming in from the West. I mean, with no doubt in my mind, this is going to be an exciting battle, but a lot of it is going to be handled in the draft. And I think today's games, especially the draft, has been predetermining a lot of these victories, whether it be for RRQ Akira or even S11.
We had a little interview with Carl Teasy earlier before, and he said that he'd rather meet Team Hack. So he's kind of, on your side here. But I can't say that there aren't a lot of supporters in the audience who want the Valley to go up and stay in that upper bracket position.
Well, it's just a classic West versus East, so it is going to be a very interesting match. But, well, Gideon, any perhaps last thoughts here before we jump into more analysis?
Well, I mean, my last thoughts is you definitely know what I'm going to be leaning more towards.
I don't.
I'm going to try. We'll bring that up later. We're going to follow the script here. We're going to bring that up later when the graphics are ready. But just to keep you guys up to date, the M4 Pass is already available, and you can complete all activity tasks, and you'll reach level 75 at ease and for free. So log in now. Exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, and everybody wants the Beatrix Stellar Brilliance. I've seen a couple of people play it in my rank games. Crazy, and the M4 Beatrix figurine are all awaiting you. So use the hashtag MLBB M4 and hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag Dare to Be Great, so that we know who's going to be, getting the figurine at the very least.
Okay, that's something that we can guess to see who is going to be able to get that figurine, because I myself want to do that. But Goni, have you been using your guest coins in game?
Well, I have been using it. I don't know if it's accurate or not because a lot of crazy matches occurred, but M4 Guest is now live. So join the guest from December 26th till the 15th of January to get up to 10,000 pass EXP, which would be enough to upgrade the pass by 10 levels. Don't miss it out, and don't forget the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, MLBB M4, and Dare to Be Great.
Now, going back into the game, right? Team Valley and Team Hack. Both of these teams are the rising stars from their respective regions, and it's insane to see them collide once again on stage. And I think you mentioned a clash in a playstyle here, Goni. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Team Hack, right? They are quite straightforward, very disciplined, and crazy picks as well. But the Valley, what they like to do is just go at it, perhaps towards the mid game, towards the late game, then they will perform.
And on that note, we are going to see the official team lineup from the Valley. We have Hoon, Fried Chicken, Basic, Mlbb, and Big Brother Super Shark.
The Valley continues to perform as much as they can. They've suffered one loss so far, but that doesn't mean that they aren't going to hit back harder, faster, stronger than any other team here, and they just begging, making people anticipate their next move.
Looking to move mountains here in M4. Please welcome the Valley all the way from North America.
Oh, we're missing Zane. Where is Zane? But on that note,
Zane?
Yeah,
There he is.
Come on. He knew what he was doing. He wanted the crowd. He knew that he was going to come out at some point.
Looking tall, looking fresh as well. The Valley looks to go into the Land of Dawn with the same gameplay, same page.
But on the flip side, their opponents are going to be none other than Team Hack from Malaysia, Gideon.
With Mon, Lola, Panda, Gary, and Min as the main five. They're looking to make their name here at M4. And they can take down the Valley. That's just one more step to getting a higher result here at the World Championship.
Our very own Cinderella story of M4 in the making. Introducing Team Hack all the way from Malaysia.
My goodness, Team Hack is ready with the flag as well. And I gotta say that Gary in M4, he has played splendidly.
Wait, did Team Hack just bring in a drum? The last time when they played, they didn't have a drum. And this time, they're not losing to RRQ fans, even though they're not even playing this time round.
You're right. I mean, the hype is definitely felt here in the audience. And I think you guys need to experience it for yourselves. Come on over to Bali United Studio. But on that note, we're going to take a look at the talents predictions before the keys to victory. And man, only Shamilo.
Your
Team
fellow
Hack.
brother. Look, to be fair, he's from Malaysia. It's understandable that Malaysians want to support Malaysians here, but this is a really important game, and I can definitely understand that a lot of people are going to be leaning towards the Valley. Hold up, Ranger Oma. Yo, what's up with the Indonesians today, man? Is this why he was like telling me, like, yeah, Team Hawk at the backstage?
I guess.
Perhaps. And we can see here on your screen the
Valley
NACT
dude.
boys, Valley dude. Span, but now, take a look on the flip side.
Look, we play it humble. We keep it
Praying.
clean. We don't say Ipompe for no reason. We pray. We make sure we stay humble here. But this is an extremely stressful match, and I cannot imagine what both of these teams are feeling. But let's look at the keys to victory for the Valley.
Well, securing basic 0, pick and farm early. Why? They play around a lot for basic, and I feel like that is going to be the main points here from side of the Valley.
I have to say that they're gonna play around Mlbb as well, because usually when we see Super Shark, there's a reason why he's called Big Brother Shark, right? Because he's always there to protect his fellow teammates. And I'm wondering if that Matilda pick is gonna come out. And if so, Team Hack definitely has that opportunity to ban that away from him.
Yeah, but this is interesting, right? When we're looking at specifically roamers, right? It's Super Shark up against Min and Man here, because they have this natural connection to each other, and a lot of it comes down to whether or not Lolita is going to be obtained by Super Shark. The last time we saw Lolita denied from him, he ended up picking up Matilda, which in and of itself really depends on how the team can coordinate.
Well, I guess patience is a virtue, and I guess Team Hack should play patiently against a team like the Valley. Again, prioritizing wave clear to control the map, and as well as creating space. Now, Min and Man, what do you think about him? Those two, Gideon? You're from Malaysia.
They naturally work well with each other. However, there are times, and remember, keep in mind, this is a best of one. A lot of cheese strategies and a lot of, off-lane picks are going to start coming up more often during this time. And I think with Min and Man, they definitely like to spice things up. The last time we saw Eudora, which doesn't happen too often, but let's see the audience predictions, and that's what I want to see, Malaysian support. But the split overall for both of the regions, still very, very, very 50-50 here.
Very balanced indeed between the Malaysian team and as well as the NA rep here. But my goodness, what a... Well, I want to hear live comments. You guys at home, who are you rooting for?
Yeah, are you Team Valley or are you Team Hack here? As it is going to give us a clue to whoever wins this, who's going to accompany RQ here in the upper brackets, right? This is the match to solidify who is going to be up there. And remember, although nobody's going to get eliminated here in the group stage, it is still important, as well as it's also important to see who's 1, 2, 3, 4, but I can't even hear myself talk. The support is insane from both of the regions. You can see the Valley, the mass support, Assassin Dave, Mirko Arashi, they're even sitting over there. What do we think about this, Gani?
Remember, this is just the knockout. This is just the group stage. I can't wait for the knockout stage.
Hey, at this point, I'm just wishing that Mobile Legends was, a 5v5v5 so we can get our RQ fans, Valley fans, and Team Hawk to really make the stage shake. But it's time. Let's jump into the draft.
We can see Team Hack on the blue side as well as the Valley on the red. And so far, 2 bans have already been set in stone. Kaja, Martis being banned away by Team Hack, whereas from the Valley, we have the Fanny as well as that Diggy ban.
A lot of Prio bans, but that Diggy ban here, Gideon, it seems like respects the Valley. They are trying to set things up. Perhaps, potentially, we might see an Atlas Blade pick here.
No, you're absolutely right here, Gani. This is something that, this is something that Team Hawk is known for, especially for Min. He's turned games around with the Atlas before, but it's not something that I feel like the Valley doesn't know about, right? So they want to open up more options. The question is, do they want to deny options or open up the field even more? I think this is the decision, to open up that field, to make sure that Super Shark feels as comfortable as possible. Even if he doesn't get the Lolita, at the very least, he's looking for those hard engages or maybe even disengages.
But on that note, you're right? There are so many heroes that are still opened up here. The Valley, now I'm lost. Now I'm lost in my train of thought. I was going to say the Valley and the Hawk, but what I meant to say was the Glue is still open up for grabs. The Carry, the Valentina, so many options here. And because of this Glue being banned, Team Hack, they're going to have the first to choose, but the Wan is their priority.
All right.
Looking at this, I personally feel like the Valley will open up Lolita for Shark and possibly can Valentina work here? The Eve. We forgot about the Eve.
Look, I was going to say, would the Valentina work here? I was like, we don't really see too much of it just yet, and you don't really want to draft around it. It's something that Malaysians are very comfortable with, and especially with the Valley, I think they're going to stick to their own game plan regardless, right? But now, looking at 2 really powerful ults here, the Eve and as well as the Lolita. We saw previously in Echo's matchup, when you have something like Valentina, you don't necessarily have to take, the Yuzong ult to get access to multiple abilities. A Numenon Blast could really set the pace of the game.
There you go. Guess now with the Eve and Lolita, just like you said, it's a very heavy ult, but then again, they need level 4. So I guess they will wait it out perhaps after first hurdle. Before first hurdle, they need to manipulate the wave so they can get level 4. But Team Hack, after some time, they have responded with a Kadita pick and as well as Dairo's pick. Now, I personally like the Kadita. Why? It just adds more spice and crowd control.
I mean, it's a two-way sword, right? It's a double-edged sword. We've seen the Kadita do wonders, but on the other side, it has failed if you can't be able to get that early game snowball. But with now the Akai being picked up for the Valley, it still sets precedent that they may have an upper hand when it comes down to those neutral objective takes. Now we are entering the second phase of the ban and picks. The Cho is going to be eliminated. Now, Team Hack, what do you think they're going to be banning next?
Look, if I had to judge the trios that we are seeing on board right now, and we have to compare the jungler specifically, I would say the Valley definitely has a significant advantage because I'm expecting Dairoth to go into that jungle. Yes, it is flexible. It can go into the EXP lane, and that's something that Team Hawk really needs to think about because Boba Zane has been performing relatively well. We haven't seen enough of him yet to boost up his stats, but expect his average KDA to change.
I personally agree with you. I mean, Akai itself is just a good hero, prominent hero to securing that neutral objective, and in the hands of Zane, it's just so efficient yet so effective. And now Hawk, they are looking to limit the option for the marksmen. I expect them to ban out the carry last, but the Valley their game plan is also straightforward. They want to limit crowd control because remember that Kadita is already there, so they do not want to add more. With the Cho, with the Franco, they banned it out, and yeah, as expected, carry banned out.
You're right. I didn't realize that the carry was survived up until this second phase. I would have thought that someone would have taken it in that first phase, and I'm excited to see what that next pick was from the side of the Valley to see exactly how they're starting to round things up. But it is a Grok, and this Grok is also flex potential.
Yeah, I think Grok is really, really smart of the Valley to deny Team Hawk, because I was thinking, okay, there's only a couple of things that really work out specifically for Hawk to counter this particular composition, and Grok came up to mind, even Cho, but that's arguable, and I really love the simplicity of that Grok. So well done to the Valley. They're looking really good right now. Whoa, the change of pace.
Both teams, they're sticking to what they know best, right? With the Hilda being picked up, denying that as well away from the Valley. This is interesting, right? So who is going to be able to pressure that lane in that jungle, realizing that the Valley still has one more pick up, and it should be the gold lane. It sounds like the Irithel. So they're trying to counter the Wanwan in that lane, and they also have the Lolita to counter the Wanwan as well.
Very clear that the side of the Valley, they want to go front to back, right? I mean, that Grok, it doesn't have to build tank. Remember, we saw a lot of high-end Dry's Grok. So with Lolita and as well as Akai, who will definitely build tank, my guess is that Grok will build high damage.
I don't know. This game is stressing me out, man. I feel my voice just lock up in my throat. Both teams are phenomenal at what they do. They are champions for a reason, but only one of them gets to go to the upper bracket.
We'll see who it is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, are you Team The Valley or are you Team Hack? Put your predictions in the comments section as we are moments away of getting into the land of Dawn. Bagani, predictions before we get in.
Personally, looking at the composition, I'm gonna go with the Valley.
Okay, we'll wait for Gideon later, but ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight into the land of Dawn to see who will claim the next upper bracket seat.
Let's jump right on into it. As we saw, as we were jumping into the land of Dawn, Grok is already slowing down and actually helping Moba Zane with a quick leash of his own. But slowing down that mid lane purposefully to make sure that Yves has a good time and can hit level 2 without getting too much harassment or threatened by specifically Kadita.
Oh, I'm actually quite surprised. Actually, Shark is going to be able to opt for that mid side, so he wants to pressure Man a little bit more. And I'm surprised because they're not... Wait, is there a lane swap?
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling like Malaysia is going to be known for lane swaps. Like, this is becoming our staple strategy at this point.
So lane swap is going to happen here. And when we see that going against one another, who do you think has a favorable trade? But this might have to wait here. Min is going to get attacked in this mid side.
Seems like Lito will be comfortably taken by the side of Gary. But I do want to point out that Neuron Blast can be cancelled out and in reach with Kadita, right?
Yep.
Later
and I think,
on.
Well, that's only later on. For now, it's all about the laning phase, right? Min should survive here. Okay, he is alive. Now, the laning phase, I definitely thought that Lola was going to play a big part in trying to take out this Grok overall, but Fried Chicken can definitely play a little bit more passive and focus on clearing those waves. So I think Team Hawk switching up these lanes actually is very beneficial because Dairoth naturally has a way to get on top of the Irithel regardless if she is using Queen's Calling or trying to get on out of there.
You can kind of see that happening. I mean, look at the way that they're positioning there in that bottom side. Irithel forced to really stick with the turret, love the turret a little bit more because Dairoth is just a huge nuance in that early game because of that base damage that he has.
Yeah, that's not all. This upcoming turtle is going to be quite the battle. I'm not sure if Team Hawk is going to look to contest it or whether or not they look to punish bottom side.
Let's see though, Moba Zane, Min, every member from the side of the Valley except for the goal winner is in the vicinity. Min trying to pressure Man, finds the petrify and finds the first blood. Pride will go down. Gary will not be able to steal that one. Zane finds Min, pulls him back towards the backside, but not enough damage to take him down just yet.
Really? It just really nicely played overall. I mean, Team Hawk understanding, and especially Gary understanding that he just has to try and contest it. Wait, Min, is he dead here?
Yeah, no sprints. I guess he will not be able to escape as Zane will collect the kill, but bot side.
Okay, so he dies on purpose to try and delay it. We already see that Basic is taking a bad trade, forced to push back, and therefore they're sending Hoon as well as Super Strike to actually compensate for the wave pushing down bot. Therefore, I'm guessing Team Hawk is most likely going to just focus on that farm, look to get the Little Wander, and then start pressing their advantages down on top side. But they notice there's no farm there. They can't do anything. The Valley is not one step ahead.
Well, taking a look at the emblems here, again, it's just standard. And the way I see things, even though that the turtle went towards the hands of the Valley, not much of a advantage that they got.
Look, it's a slow start, but it's going to snowball out of control. We've seen this many times with many different teams. It's going to go back and forth. It really comes down to a decisive fight. And I don't think the Valley is going to take it this early on until they get those first items.
So right now, Min is being a huge nuisance to Mobazane there. I don't know how effective he is right now because he's not far behind Gary, but in the bottom side.
The dire potential jumps in. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye, Basic. Gary will pick up the kill, and on top of that, he will get extra goal. But now, the re-engage from the Valley. They should not commit to this. I'll take a look at this 3v1. Super Shark will go down next. The Valley, they really need to be careful on this one.
Yeah, they cannot disrespect the Dairoth, and especially with the armor shred, it makes it so easy for someone like Ling to quickly cut down someone as tanky as Super Shark, who naturally has the base health as well as armor to protect himself.
Top side, everything. White Chicken, 1 HP. He gets almost that's taken down, but now Turtle Fight Gary gets low. He will be forced out of that vicinity. We'll see, can he make the steal? Zane, Shark is already on that turtle. 2,000, but he will not make it, as Zane will find the second turtle.
They're doing well. So far, the Valley continuing to control the tempo for now. And yes, bottom side is on the loss. However, I did see Lola. He first item blade a Heptases. What a mad lad. He really wants to kill Basic here. So now the Valley is trying to unlock him from that bottom side. Maybe find some gold elsewhere on the map. No, still sticking to bottom side.
Seems like Panda is farming relatively well. Lola sends a danger shark with the stun. Hoon as well. Here combination comes in. Real revelation, but take a look at the damage shark. Low HP, he will not fall, and it will be Lola. 3-on-1 is a little just too much, and Lola suffers a death outside.
But remember here, Team Hack does have an advantage in those side lanes, so they are going to have a little bit more map pressure than the Valley for the moment. And you can already see the health in that tower in the top side, where Team Hack, they're looking to get another one. But look at the delay coming in from White Chicken. He's trying to do his best to delay it. Unfortunately, it isn't going to be enough.
Another objective falls into the side of Team Hawk. And honestly, the Valley, at this point, the laning phase is done and dusted. The question is, where do you find the goal effectively and safely? Oh no.
Take a look at the setup here. Min falls, and now Gary, Tempest of Blade just to escape. But take a look at the Hurricane Dance. Finds the Ling, and there you go. Bang, bang, bang. The Valley responds in minute number 6.
A 2-for-0 trade in favor of the Valley. And who in their right mind would be able to pin the Ling there? It was beautiful, but look at this. Super Shark.
Crossbow of Tang finds Super Shark, and now the Valley, they slow down the tempo. They need to be careful here. They won the trade. Team Hack is just finding compensation.
Yeah, with Turtle coming up in about 5 more seconds. Right now, the difference maker is going to be Lola. Min has been struggling to get his harassments down, especially with the Valley playing very defensively. Hoon even opting to go for a brute force breastplate as his very first item after the boots, of course, but he needs to live and needs to start scaling.
Here's Zane. Oh, take a look at the damage from the Dairoth, man. Heavy spin as a defense. Gary will confirm the last turtle in the Land of Dawn. And Gideon, things are looking good for the Malaysians here.
I'm not counting out the Valley just yet. Even though the tier 2s are going to start to fall, the lead doesn't seem to be too far away. It's only 1.77 minutes into the game. It's not that much. The next turtle comes, and now the fight begins.
Almost. Noon Blast not landing though. Ultimate resource, there's information. Hawk might go for the mid side, but Lola almost solo killing Zane there with the help of the conceal just to escape. Now mid side real manipulation just to pass clear. White Chicken misses the wild charge, and there you go, Team Hack with the disengage.
Yeah, it seems like Gary was able to get that blue buff away from Zane though, so it's advantage for themselves. They were leading 1,000, now already with a 2,000 gold lead as they continue to denying anything away from Team Valley. And once again, Gary being the ever-aggressive jungler.
You can see here already 5 members from the Valley is in the mid side, failed to defend the tier 1, and Lola, he is very intelligent, taking down the tier 2, while almost TV is just in time to defend that one. Oh, top side. Link Gary finds the red buff, and White Chicken cannot be able to find the kill.
Oh boy, this is well, at least for Team Hawk, they understand their composition has a lot of mobility, so the split push is going well. But we see this problem time and time again. At the end of the day, if this match goes up to minutes, the Valley will eventually start to scale so much harder in comparison to Team Hawk. So right now, Team Hawk is on a timer and they have to conclude this game as fast as possible.
Right now, we can see that Fried Chicken trying to clear that upper side, but in that 1v1 against Gary, he nearly took him down. So that's how much damage you can expect from a Grok with that particular emblem as well. And it's interesting, right? Because when we see the Ling, we can either see the jungle emblem or this assassin emblem, the killing